There we are. There we go. Hi, everyone. Hello, hello. Welcome. Welcome into the first Hydrafixation in the 2.0 era. Hi, hi. How you guys doing? And hopefully they should hear you too.
Hello.
Hey.
Hello, everyone.
Hi. Hello. Welcome to this episode. I still can't believe I allowed that to happen. I think that is my biggest gripe of this episode. Why did I say yes to this?
Content.
Do you want to introduce yourself before I explain what we're here to do?
Yes, I will. Thank you very much. Hello, everyone. My name is Porphyra Minos. I'm a demon incubus VTuber, ruler of the Second Circle, and the Prince of Lust, at your service or at mine, whichever you prefer.
Good one. Good one. Good one. Well, you see it in the title. I love that you people are excited about that. Why is there a creature on our demon? That is a very good question.
Which one?
All of them. Wait, is that a Velcro button?
Yes, bring him back.
Very fair. Very, very, very fair. Okay. Before I throw my sanity out, now let me explain, especially to the people who have never been here, what we are here for. This is Hydrafixation. Hydrafixation is a little talk show where I invite a guest to yap about their special interest or hyperfixation. The disadvantage is that I only give my guest 20 minutes of uninterrupted yapping time because, let's be honest, otherwise we would be here for the next 3 days. But why is it called Hydrafixation? Yes, it is a serpent pun, but also you start at one topic, 10 others will pop up. No one knows where we will actually end up with this conversation. We had some...
Yeah, that sounds about right.
we had some wild derails on this show before. Yeah, and today we're talking about... Homestuck.
Yeah! Homestuck! Listen, it was bound to happen, Helia. Let's be honest. It was bound to happen.
ADHD premium subscription card. Helia sounds like they're held on gunpoint. I wish, if that was the truth, I would have at least have a good excuse. No.
I'm so glad you get to see how funny Coco is, by the way. Coco's so funny.
Who pinned me? Wasn't me. It wasn't me. But that's why I have mods for. But yes, the thing is, this format is always open invitation, basically. Sometimes I ask people, sometimes people come to me and are like, can I yap about this? And most of the time I don't. I think I've never said no to a topic, and maybe this is my sign to the universe that I should start. Maybe I should start saying no to topics.
It's a bit too little too late to say no to Homestuck, isn't it? We're here now.
Well, at least this is okay. What usually happens after Hydrafixation is that I look at it and I'm like, maybe I should have a look at it. Maybe I should have a look at this game or whatever. And most of the times I do. Luckily, this is the one episode where this will not happen. This will not make me open up Homestuck.
Okay, that's should mean.
I thought I would now come up. You would now come up with a challenge.
We'll have to make a goal of like how many subs do I have to give you to make you read Homestuck?
Oh yeah, I answered that question. By the way, I answered that question. That short was uploaded today, like a few hours ago, and I said never. Homestuck is the
You know
same.
what?
Homestuck is the same
In the
category
words
for
of
me as.
Bieber, in the words of Justin Bieber, never say never.
It is the same thing as One Piece for me. It's just too much.
Yeah, okay, I understand that. I totally get that. I am joking, by the way. Whenever I try to say to my friends, get into Homestuck, it is 100% a joke because I understand the level of commitment you need to read Homestuck requires a very refined level of autism that just not everyone has, you know?
The thing is, if I would be so deep in this shit if I would have read it if it was a big thing on Tumblr. But we can talk about that later before we derail immediately. Also, let me actually, I didn't say hi to it. This is so. Hi Aza, hi Senshi, hi Les.
Hi Kai.
Hi Barge, hi Iris, hi Kai, hi Coco. Hi Soul. Yeah, guys, thank you for continue to contribute to getting the bald redeemed back, you fucking weirdos.
I can go bold.
I mean, I could do, we're just not doing that. Well, I was promised programming humor, so I'm at least gotta hear it out for this presentation. Yeah, okay. Yeah, Sure, a joke like me when I tell people to watch Precure. Hi, Oli Nanas. Viewing via Play Satisfactory. That is honest. That is such a peak neurodivergent. Honestly, that is beautiful.
That's the ADHD like media combo that you need, isn't it?
Yeah, probably. Yeah. But yes, how this goes is, oh, by the way, guys, I have a new timer. It's just a bit more prettier than what I use.
The color matching.
Yeah, of course. Hey, I have like a good 4 color palette going on. We will keep that. They can pry this color out of my cold dad clothes. It's but yeah, I will count down. Then we have 20 minutes of whatever will happen behind me. I don't know. That's also the thing. I know what people will talk about. I never have any idea what's actually in the visuals or what will be said in those 20 minutes. And now I have a model that talks over the last resemblance of a poker face at all. So, gotta be very, very interesting. And afterwards, I will ask questions because I already have pen and paper ready, and you can ask questions, and then we'll just see how this goes. I just switch off shape to clock in for my mod shape. That makes so much sense. That makes so. Okay, are you ready?
I am ready.
Also, the usual in this time, if I will pause for a raid. If a raid happens for any reasons, I will actually pause the time and we can acknowledge that for a second. For anything else, you guys have to wait. We will sit down, we listen, and we judge quietly.
I'd expect nothing less.
Yeah. Don't explode me, Marsh. Explode me. Then. I mean, I'm happy that I don't go into this with no knowledge. I think that will help. For anyone who has no idea what Homestuck is, good fucking luck. I hope you're sitting down and you're comfortable. Thank you for the hand pat. It's fucking neat. Okay. Do you want to get rid of your wings so we can actually see shit?
Yes.
Oh my god. Wings and horns. That Incubus really decided I'm taking up all the space.
Listen, I'm 5'1". I've got to assert my dominance somehow.
Oh god. I forgot about that. Oh.
I'm a little pocket-sized demon.
Will guy. Okay, let's... Oh. Welcome to Hydrafixation, episode 19 already. It's Homestuck. We're starting in 3, 2, 1, go.
Welcome to my Hydrafixation Homestuck episode. Now, Homestuck is really long, and so because of how complex it is, I chose to focus primarily on the game within the story of Homestuck, because without it, Homestuck would not exist. Now, what the fuck is Homestuck? Homestuck is a webcomic made in 2009 by Andrew Hussey, originally hosted on the website MSPA, MS Paint Adventures. Now it's in its own domain of homestuck.com. The comic is 8,000 plus pages long and is 200,000 words longer than the King James Bible. The story follows 4 kids that are stuck at home playing a game together that destroys the universe, while simultaneously isekaiing them into a pocket dimension where they must win the game in order to birth a new universe. They soon discover 12 trolls that had been harassing them for some time while also playing their own instance of the game. This is where the time shenanigans kick in, because the trolls won their game and created the humans universe, but due to an evil entity known as Jack Noir, they couldn't rule over the universe they made as gods like they were supposed to. Jack Noir, being the evil, big, bad embodiment of giving the universe cancer, created in the human session, poses a threat to both game sessions, and brings the humans and the trolls together to fight against him. Though he soon seems like the tip of the iceberg when they discover an evil demon of time is a much bigger threat that wishes to destroy all of reality. In order to escape the failed human session and try again, the humans scratch their session and embark on a 3-year journey across uncharted void into the new universe session, where they team up with the 16-year-old versions of their parental guardians. Teaming up, all 8 humans and the surviving trolls take on the Lord of Time, Lord English, in hopes that by defeating him, they can breed their own universe frog and rule over the new universe as benevolent leaders. That's your too long didn't read for What the Fuck is Homestuck. Moving on. I was being literal when I said universe frog. In Homestuck, the universe is a giant cosmic frog that's created through a cosmic frog breeding process by space players within the game. It's known as the Genesis Frog, and by the forces trying to prevent the players from winning, the Dursites, they call him Bilious Slick, and outlaw any frog-related iconography. Jack Noir infects both the troll universe and the human universe with the Red Miles, commonly referred to as giving the universe cancer. The game. Okay, now we're getting into the gritty. We are first introduced to the game through the 4 humans, John, Rose, Dave, and Jade. In their universe, it's called SBURB. It launches as a client-to-server daisy chain. Each player has a unique object that grants them access to the pocket dimension known as the Medium, wherein a unique small planet materializes specifically for them to explore and solve localized quests to aid them in winning the game. At the center of the Medium is Skya, the planet that will incubate the Genesis Frog, and also the battlefield for the warring kingdoms of Prospet and Durs. The game itself is presented as a very complex game of chess, reflected in the appearance of the Prospitians and Dursites being chess pieces that move on the checkerboard surface of Skya. God tiers. Here we go. I did include my god tier and Helia's god tier as well, by the way. So you get to see, it's very fitting that Helia's god tier also doesn't have pants. So there you go. It was meant to be. Within SBURB, S-Grub for the trolls, there is a class and an aspect assigned to each player. 12 classes and 12 aspects respectively, making that 144 total class specs. The classes are tailored to the player's personality type and is designed to nurture the best aspects of that personality. Each planet has a godly quest bed that requires the player to die while lying on it. This will allow ascension to godhood. There are a few tests that you can take yourself to see what your class spec is. However, they aren't as reliable as someone more knowledgeable in the mechanics of god tiers assigning one to you instead. Extra lives. We love extra lives because we don't like to die. Like most RPGs, there is a mechanic that allows you to defy death, but only once. When you go to sleep, you wake up on either Prospit's moon or Dursa's moon. This is a perfect copy of you that you can possess while you sleep, and also use if your main body dies. Your second life is activated by someone kissing your corpse, which is known as the Kiss of Life, which is also a play on CPR. It's a very nudge, nudge, wink, wink, haha. While having a second life ready to go does sound great, they are unprotected while you're awake in your main body, and may even be at risk of assassination by Durse agents, especially if your dreamer alignment is Durse. Denizens, yay. At the core of every planet is a final boss that you have to defeat for a huge reward. In some cases, you may be able to bargain or talk with them, as proven in canon by Jade and Kanaya, who held conversations with Echidna. Denizen lairs are accessed through a series of portals that cycle through each player's planets. The final gate being the highest and hardest to get to, that is the Denizen lair. The denizens are foreshadowed by having the same name as the player's internet browser, and I've included some fan versions of real browser denizens that were made by Sigmahold on Reddit. I will also say that Helio probably feels very at home seeing all of these snake people. And now the scratch. When a game session doesn't succeed, it's called a doomed session. If a game session doesn't have a Skya, then it's a void session, which is also a doomed session, with an extra helping of fuck you on top. There are also single player sessions, but they are only for the strongest of players and reward players with the most powerful and infinitely rare god tiers, Muse and Lord, for winning the game. It's possible to begin a process called the Scratch. This essentially scratches the game disk and restarts the universe so that you can try again. But you will also be erased so that the scratched version of you can take your place. The disk is almost always on a time player's planet. And in Homestuck, it is on Dave Schreider's planet because he is a time player. The humans in Homestuck avoided being erased by breaking the fourth wall. Yes, they actually broke the fourth wall. Did I mention that Homestuck is ridiculously meta, by the way? When they left the fourth wall, they left their universe, and just before the scratch disk joined with Skya, they ended up in the void, going on a 3-year journey across it into the new universe, where their parental guardians became the new players of the game in the freshly scratched session. Now, Homestuck is an onion. It has layers. It's great for world builders. If you love world building, if you love TTRPGs, Homestuck really is just a treasure trove because of the amount that's in it. It's packed with so many things, whether it's just aliens that you like, or whether it's game mechanics, or even programming and coding, because there's a lot of that in this as well. It's genuinely one of those medias where there is always something for everyone. It's just incredibly inaccessible to so many people because of how intimidating it can be to start. While I've touched on so many things, I've not really gone into too much detail. And the reason for that is, well, I have a time limit and I have to be very, very, very careful that I don't go over that, because otherwise I'm going to have to stop mid-sentence and you'll never get the end of that sentence. So I tried my best while looking at the Homestuck iceberg that I very artistically created in very professional software known as Canva, which I'm sure you've never heard of because it's incredibly professional and incredibly posh and all of those wonderful things. it's worth noting that there are also things I didn't touch on because they're either not relevant to the game, which was my main focus, as it's a really fun thing to talk about with D&D people. And I know that if I'm on Helia's channel, I need to talk about something related to D&D because
10
it's
minutes.
the best way to connect. Thank you. I wanted to make sure that I could give you something that's approachable. And I also want to let you know that there is a Homestuck D&D translation. So you can play Homestuck in D&D as well. There is a TTRPG, so you're welcome. There are lots of things on this list that I could talk about, given the time. 20 minutes is not enough to go into everything, but if you do see anything on this list and you have questions about it, I'm more than happy to answer in a short paragraph, maybe a sentence, depending on what it is. But I did my best. Now, if you want to read Homestuck, the best way to read it is via the unofficial Homestuck collection, because unfortunately, when Homestuck was created, it was created using Flash. And as we all know, Flash, may it rest in peace, was removed. It was no longer supported through Google Chrome and other browsers. So a lot of people go to the Homestuck website, they want to read Homestuck, and then they get to a page and it's broken and they don't know why. That's why. So if you can get your hands on the unofficial Homestuck collection, I highly recommend it. Though I will warn you, it was made in 2009. It is a product of its time. There are slurs, there is racism, and it's worth noting that if you have the unofficial collection, you can download mods, and those mods will replace the slurs and any sensitive content that you think is inappropriate. Just because, honestly, you can do without it. Most of the time, it's just teenagers yelling slurs and swearing at each other. The swearing's fine, but the slurs are unnecessary, and they don't actually add to anything. So yeah, that, my friends, is Homestuck. I'm done. I did it. Yay!
That's it. You have 7 minutes left. What the fuck?
I know. Yeah, I condensed this down so hard. You have no idea.
You have 7 minutes left. You have 7 minutes left. You can do with that what you want.
I can explain Guy Fieri because Marsh mentioned Guy Fieri. Yeah. Okay, so in Homestuck, Guy Fieri was labeled as the Antichrist and was one of the leaders of the Dark Carnival, which is a clown cult that worships ICP. This clown cult was created by Lord English, who originally created the Dark Carnival. And in the presidential election, ICP were they were made president, like joint presidents of the United States of America, and they were the final presidents before they destroyed the planet. Well, they didn't. They just destroyed humanity. The planet was still there, but humans weren't. So yeah, that's in the Scratch timeline. That happened in the second human universe that happened. So yeah, there's a clown cult, and Guy Fieri's the Antichrist. I don't know if I've left some more questions.
now I very much understand why there's basically a D&D translation, because that is just mildly weirder than Witchlight.
Yeah.
But
I tried to focus on the game.
You did it. Let's fucking go.
Yay!
Oh my god, I don't know where to start. I think my main gripe on that thing as a whole is, yes, it is a webcomic, but why on earth did a webcomic run on Flash? What happened there?
Oh, that's a really good question, actually, because it's multimedia. So yes, it's a webcomic, there's text, but there's also GIFs, there's mini games, and there's also videos with audio. So that's why it ran through Flash, because a lot of the mini games, Andrew Hussey coded with Toby Fox, the creator of Undertale.
I knew that. And I
Yeah.
think that's very funny, and also that explains so much. That explains so much.
Yeah, there you go. Toby Fox also made a lot of the music for Homestuck as well. Some of my favorite pieces were made by Toby. Megalovania is in Homestuck too.
Of course it is. Okay, then I will actually pull. I have questions. I have shit written down, and then that means I will actually start at the end of my day. Since I feel like Homestuck is a weird thing between extremely niche and still everyone kind of knows at least a bit, if they ever have been to the internet in ye olden time. So beyond Toby Fox having actively had his hand on it, and there's probably 5 million video essays out there that are like, here is every Homestuck reference that you can find at Undertale and Deltarune. I hope it is. But do you know of other like media pop culture things where Homestuck actually, there is a Homestuck influence or Homestuck's references in it that people might not know about?
Yes. What is it called? Is it Hell of a Boss? Which one? Oh, it's Has Been Hotel. It's Has Been Hotel. In Has Been Hotel, in one of the scenes, there is an old grandfather clock. And that grandfather clock is the exact same one that is in Homestuck, and it's the clock that is used to determine if a god tier dies or lives. Because when you are a god tier in Homestuck, it's a conditional immortality. So the clock decides if your death is just or heroic, and if it's neither, you come back to life. And that clock is in Has Been Hotel. There is also a Homestuck reference in Gravity Falls. I can't remember it precisely because I'm going off the top of my head, but I know it's in there. I also know that there's some references throughout other VivziePop like medias. I mean, because VivziePop took on Homestuck as well, because they were a fan, so they took on Homestuck, and now they're doing the animated series.
I mean, it makes a lot of sense considering that VivziePop is and was a Tumblr girly extraordinaire, and also started her like sharing her art on Tumblr. And I think Tumblr is a big reason why Homestuck has become what it is. So that makes sense. Now I can someone look up the Gravity Falls ones? I'm so curious. I
think I could probably try to find it. Let me see.
I'm half convinced the Gravity Falls ones were by accident. That makes it even more interesting. But also, considering everything I know about Alex Hirsch, it also wouldn't surprise me if that man read Homestuck in his youth. I mean, let's be honest for one second here. So, whew. Yeah, I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised about. Wait, now that I mean, yeah.
Okay, I did find them. So there's, as far as we can see, 3 references. One of them was the club in Gravity Falls was in the shape of a spades club. With a diamond on it, which is a reference to the quadrants in Troll Romance. The club being auspicist and the diamond being Moira Allegiance. Then there is the scratched disc from an episode where they scratch a record, and it's scratched in the exact same place as the one in Homestuck. And then there is the Egbert reference. I'm not sure what episode it is. It's in the background. It's just a little Easter egg. It's an Easter Egbert. But yeah, John Egbert, that's his name. And so whenever we see Egbert, it's like, oh, clock that. But yeah, there's a reference to Egbert in the background, which probably would have been ignored if there hadn't been other Homestuck references as well.
Huh. Yes, absolutely not surprising for me. Okay, but I need to tell you guys this. Yeah, every time someone tells me, "Hey, it breaks the fourth wall," do you guys actually know that the fourth wall is a very, very new thing in media, or a relatively new thing, and it didn't exist and has become weirdly a staple in theater when it never was. Thank you.
I disagree with that just because British theatre has had audience interaction for a long time in the form of pantomimes.
Yeah, yes. The thing is, the establishment of the fourth wall, aka the separation from audience to what happens on stage, is a weirdly new thing we're doing, because classical theater, and especially in the Greek tradition, always had the Greek choir that was absolutely communicating and commentating for the audience. I don't even know when we started to pull up a fourth wall, but it's always funny to me when someone just as a little tidbit of the fourth wall. The fourth wall is a rather newish invention.
This is a literal wall in Homestuck. It's
yeah,
an
of course
wall.
it is. Of course
It is.
It is.
It's called a fenestrated wall, and it's like a window. And in that window, it shows you all of the panels of Homestuck, like in like order. And that wall is in Andrew Hussey's office because he absolutely self-inserted himself, and he is in the comic as well. And he is the narrator until he dies in the comic. He is killed. And that's when the narration goes all over the place and different people try to narrate different characters try to narrate the story. And that's how we end up getting some really wacky eras in Act 6. Act 6 is filled with just the craziest things. At one point, Lord English tries to narrate Homestuck. He is the big bad, narrating his own story, and he calls it Homosuck.
Wow. So creative. Okay, let's start from the beginning. How did you stumble onto that?
This is a really interesting question. So I had a friend. This was I think it's like 2014, 2015. I had a friend that was like really obsessed with Homestuck, and I didn't understand it, didn't know what it was about. I just saw the passion.
99% of the world's population.
Yeah, very much. I was like, I don't know what this is. And he was like drawing pictures of the characters and putting them on his wall. And he was just really just jovial and had this like infectious enthusiasm about it. And I saw how happy it made him. And at the time, he was like my best friend. And I thought, well, it makes him happy. Maybe I should read it. And maybe that'll like surprise him and maybe he'll be happy. And I started reading Homestuck. And I got really into it about I think it was like Act 3. I really got invested. And then I ended up like binging it all the way up until it wasn't complete at the time. We were waiting for updates. So I managed to read up until just before Game Over released, because I remember the release of Game Over and it was devastating. And I said to him, "Oh, do you know when the next update for Homestuck is coming out?" And he's like, "What? What do you mean? Why are you asking?" And I'm like, "Oh, because I'm waiting for it." And he's like, "But you've never read Homestuck." And I'm like, "On the contrary, I have not only read Homestuck, I've caught up. I started reading 2 months ago."
Yeah, that makes so much. Yeah, I think everyone who I know started reading it in like let's say the last 2 years for very ominous reasons that no one knows about. sat down and read that thing in one, basically. It's insane how many people were like, yeah, I'm reading that thing in a month or two. And I'm, huh? it's the thing is, I'm impressed by that speed either way. It doesn't help that this is a million layers of shit you actually need to understand and get through it, which makes it even more impressive to me that people got through that and understood what's happening.
Oh, full transparency. The first time I read Homestuck, I didn't understand a lot of things. Like, there were some things that I completely misunderstood or just didn't get. It took me my third read through to fully understand the felt. It took me my second read through to understand the retconning that happened in Act 6. There were some things that I needed a second go on just to understand. And you know, I think one of the most confusing things in like Homestuck, it's probably the felt. The felt and their work with like Caliborn, that's really confusing to people, and they don't always get it right away. It took me about 3 goes to understand them. So I've read Homestuck now a total of like 7 or 8 times, and I've read it on stream as well. Yeah.
I know that. I know that you did that. You told me that. Also, thank you, Marsh, for the outfit, which I guess. Sure.
You look lovely.
I know. I know. Even if people can't see the cool. Something in Homestuck uses the symbols as the zodiac signs, and on the birthday art you made for Helia, there was one on the side. You used the symbol for Taurus. Is that a 101 or is there more to it?
Oh, I'm so glad you asked. So this is relating to troll society. So trolls are, of course, the aliens within Homestuck. They're known as trolls. They're the ones with the candy corn horns and the gray skin. They have different blood colors, and they basically have a very prejudiced system based on blood color.
I remember.
And it's divided into 12 colors on the hemo spectrum, and when you mature as a troll, when you grow your legs after you pupate, because they are insect trolls, they hatch as grubs, they go into a little pupa, and then they come out of the trial caverns after fighting for their lives at the age of like 4 years old. Then they emerge and they are given a symbol, and that symbol is it connects them to like distant ancestry. We're talking like thousands of years ago type thing. With the trolls that you see in Homestuck, the main 12, they are the Zodiac. And the reason why they are the Zodiac is because they created the human universe. And because they created the human universe, they have influence over it. But they weren't able to rule over it as gods. So the influence from the trolls carried over to the human universe and gave humans the Zodiac.
God, I hate that. Oh, that is horrendous.
There are other symbols as well. Like my symbol is Aquases. Your symbol is just Taurus because you're a page of breath. Pages of breath that are brown bloods are Taurus. That's just the way it works. But I'm an Aquases.
Oh yeah, can we get into the god tiers real quick again?
Yes, we can.
Let's do MBTI for extremely autistic nerds.
Oh, this is 144 different types. So yeah.
I know. Yeah, can you get back to the slide for that?
Yeah, I think hold on. I clicked out. Tee. There we go.
First off, my result is based on a test you threw at me. That was like, yeah,
yes.
sure. I think I took that test also, I think, 2 years. And it was still a page, but it was not breath. I don't know what. Now the question is, because since you said with all guys, did you know that personality tests are bit ways? Thank you.
They are.
So is the zodiac, you know, but it's still kind of fun. Humans love, like, people love to put themselves in little boxes and put a label on it. It's kind of how we. Okay, the thing is, that is the result of a test you gave me, and you said those are absolutely not as precise as basically having someone else who is very familiar with the content giving you one of this. Do you agree with my test result?
Partially, yes.
Okay.
I would need to talk to you for a good hour to 2 hours to really delve into what drives you. It's also difficult because the god tiers themselves, like, the whole game is made to be played by, like, teens, like young teens, because that's the point. Like, god tiers are about ascension into your final form. It's about maturing and growing into adulthood. And so with adults doing this test, we have already kind of gotten there. We're adults now. We've matured, or at least I hope we have. But you will find that your results will change. When I first took the test back when I got into Homestuck, I was a knight of life. And knights, they're very hard on themselves. Their life is so difficult. They hate themselves and they hate everyone else. And then I took the test again 10 years later, and I got a sylph of mind. And that tells me that I have healed. I'm focusing on my creativity. I am calmer. I'm more mature. And I think before I act now. And that tells me that I'm no longer like the impulsive, aggressive, I must survive at all costs type of person anymore. So at least that is a very interesting element. But yeah, I'd have to sit down with you for like 2 hours to get your accurate god tier, if I'm being completely honest. I do partially agree with it, because breath is freedom. And I do think you're very much an advocate for, like, letting people create and do as they wish, letting people have that freedom. So I do agree with that. I don't know if Paige is totally correct. I don't know if you know this, but pages start out as the weakest class.
I know that page is the basically tarot fool. It's the potential one. Yeah.
They grow into the most powerful, but they have to hit that growth, you know? So yeah, I'm not sure. I'm not sure I would label you as a page. But I think that, you know, breath is a very good aspect for you, because you are a breath of fresh air.
Ew. Yeah. Okay, we need to do that at one point, just because it's interesting. Okay, but I just for the record now, what would you label me as? Just so we have that now and can compare later.
Okay, yeah, you're hardworking, you challenge yourself, you're very good at forming bonds and communicating with people. I would say that your aspect is blood. I would say that in terms of forming connections, you wouldn't be a negative class. I think you would very much be a positive class for that. So I would say, because you provide connections for other people as well, I'd say you're a rogue.
That feels not intuitive.
Rogues in Homestuck take that aspect and they distribute it to their party. So it's one of those where, like, blood is about bonds, it's about friendship, it's about connections. And so I think he would be a rogue of blood because you're very good at providing connections and bonds and friendships with other VTubers in your circle. You're very good at that. And even if it's just friendships, you're very good at bridging the gap for people. And you make so many connections more accessible to people because of that. So I very much think you're a rogue of blood. If I had to guess just off of this, obviously it's not a 2-hour interview for you. I'm sure my answer would be different, but I would say rogue of blood out the gate is what I would bank on.
Interesting. No, I can. This is one of the things where I can't even argue because it's kind of correct.
Yeah.
It's I mean, yeah. Also,
got clocked.
yeah, everything I know about astrology and my birth chart is also just like, yeah, kind of, sure.
Yeah.
If we ever sit down to this, I will tell you people. I don't know what I will do with that information, but sure. Let's go on a 2-hour deep dive therapy session.
I also look forward to seeing any and all Homestuck related Helia art, so please tag me in that.
Yeah. Also, just to go back on chat, now you look like you're from the same genre. What's that genre, Marsh? What's that genre you're talking about?
Helia stuck.
But hey, thank you, Marsh, for making us match the tits out genre. That's okay. I can do it.
Both got the horns, both got a tits out. Let's go.
I'm already a bit grey. It's unfortunately kind of fit. That. I have way too much stuff on. Oh yeah. Weird side question. Who would win, the Genesis frog or the Great Artuine? That is important to me.
The Great what?
The Great Artuine. Are you familiar with Discworld? Terry Pratchett's?
No, I'm not. No.
Oh, first off, you should, because it's brilliant and excellent. And second, in Discworld, well, the world is a disc. But that disc is on the backs of 4 elephants who are standing on a big fucking turtle, and that's the Great Artuine. So
interesting. Well, the Genesis frog doesn't fight. He's just chilling. He's just vibing. He is the universe. He's just like, yeah, I'm just chilling my little void pond.
So they actually would open up a tea session.
Yeah, I think they just talk. It's like, you got a big disc in your universe? Yeah, me too. You know what I mean? Like that.
Also, by the way, there's also a whole other theories that connect that fucking turtle to other shit. It's amazing. By the way, guys, read Discworld. It's cool.
I'll have to put that on my list.
Discworld is I mean, it's Terry Pratchett. Terry Pratchett was a very, very cool guy, but it also gives you some cool shit like the city is attacked by a dragon, and the fucking head of the, well, more head of the town is like, well, can it talk? Yeah. Is it intelligent? Yeah, cool. If it can talk, we can negotiate. Like, this is such a good vibe to go into a dragon encounter. Oh my god.
No one ever does that in D&D, which I find hilarious. They're like, dragon, we attack.
Fun fact. I played, well, it's Pathfinder, but I played a bard for years in Pathfinder, and at one point we were standing of a, like, 5 elder dragon council, and they were all in their fucking dragon form, because, you know, intimidating. And first off, I talked shit with them. Like it was like, okay, this is the goal, this is what we're going through, and then they weren't stopping, just like arguing with each other. And I think I actually scoffed and rolled my eyes, and I survived. So,
Wow.
yeah.
I'd buy a lottery ticket after that.
We had other problems at the time, but yeah. I'm usually a big fan of the why fight if talk option. That's also how I played Baldur's Gate 3, by the way.
Yeah.
I love my
That never
high
works for
charisma
me.
bard. Why not?
I always try. I'm like, let's talk, and then it's like, no, I will kill you, and I'm like, well, I tried, guys.
There is a difference between talk and fucking lie to their face. Usually you
How
need to.
did you know?
Usually you need to lie in their face, and no, I love my high charisma characters. I love my high persuasion and deception characters. It's just fun.
Tiefling warlock, my beloved.
That reminds me of the time when I played with my paladin OC Baldur's Gate. I had to actually make the right decision, and I couldn't lie to people.
Oh yeah, paladin's hard to play. You're basically a jock.
I miss my clumsy monk. Marsh, no offense, but which one? You have two of those. That being said,
Clumsy
guys.
monk is hilarious.
That being said, guys, I might play D&D with people soon on stream.
Ooh. That's cool.
Yeah, we're still looking for people who want to join.
I'll be honest. When it comes to playing, I'm not as experienced.
Oh, that doesn't fucking matter. That doesn't fucking matter. It's just saying.
I mean, I'm down. It'd be fun. I'm down. I'm just so used to being a DM and world building myself. I'm not used to actually playing.
we will talk about this later. In all technicality, we haven't decided on a DM yet. So after stream, that's actually an after stream discussion for once.
Okay.
Planning for one. Yeah. Kind things. I will tell you guys as soon as I have more. Yeah. God, I missed you. Oh yeah, talking about you said you can put Homestuck in D&D or well play it that way, but there is also a real TTRP. What? Huh?
Yeah, so you can actually get the Homestuck TTRPG. It has all of the rules and all of the like assets and everything, the class specs, it's all done. The hardest part is actually doing prototyping, which is a whole nother can of worms, because that requires the DM's creativity and luck rolls, but you can play SBURB as a TTRPG.
Oh.
It's been done.
Have you played it?
No, I've not. I want to.
I'm not playing it with you, but hey, if anyone wants to,
So where is it? Let me find it. Yeah, it's called RPG Stuck 3E. It's based on 5E and 3.5E.
Oh, that's cool. Actually, I love when people actually put stuff together and make it playable.
It's on the official Homestuck.net site.
Yeah, of course it is. Oh damn! Oh fucking course it is. Nerds, all of them.
I mean, there's also a thing in Homestuck that's called flarping, which is basically like fatal live action roleplay, which is heavily based on like live action roleplay and D&D. And one of the characters that flarps a lot, she uses eight-sided dice as her weapon. and what she rolls determines what her attack is going to be.
Oh my god, that's so cool. That's so cool in theory. Horrible for the character.
Oh yeah, she has terrible luck. She has terrible luck. That's like her thing. For a long time, she's really unlucky, and then she gets her luck back, and then she just becomes an absolute Chad. She's also like one of the worst people in the comic, by the way. Have you ever heard people say, "I hate Vriska"? That's Vriska. Yeah, that's Vriska.
Okay.
Vriska, the Scorpio, she is an awful person, but she also is really cool, and I hate that. But yeah, she has the 8-sided dice.
This is the same as people who prefer playing like wild magic and shit. I don't get you guys.
Yeah.
No. Nuh-uh. I like to know what I'm able to do. Ooh.
Wild magic is the people who choose that, like actually choose to do it instead of having it thrust upon them. If they choose to do it, I'm like, so who hurt you?
Kind of. I agree. Ooh, okay. Let me go through. There's so much. Oh yeah. If you were in the kid situation and would be just thrown into that shit, you think you would win?
No, I'd die. I'd fucking die.
Nice.
I'd die.
Perfect.
I ain't stupid. I listen. There are so many people that are like, "Yeah, I'd win," and I'm like, you do realize that all 4 of the kids were prepared for the game because they sparred with their parents their whole lives. They trained for that. They trained on how to use weapons. They were constantly fighting their whole lives. Like, all of them. Even in the Scratched universe, the kids sparred, and they, like, one of them was a feral child living on an island surrounded by monsters. So, like, they all were already preconditioned for survival. And so when anyone is like, "Yeah, I'd win," it's like, no, you wouldn't. You'd fall like a melted chocolate bar on a car window. Like no. It's the same. Flop.
It's the same people who said they would survive a zombie apocalypse without having like any skills that actually are needed in a zombie apocalypse, and not just fighting, but actually like repairing shit and medicine and all that stuff.
Yeah, precisely. It's precisely the same because they think about the game and they're like, "Oh yeah, I know. I just need to like find my quest bed in God tier," and I'm like, you also need to defeat waves and waves of enemies that are going to immediately siege your house the moment you enter the medium. But you didn't think about that, did you, buddy?
No, like, that's not fun and cool.
Yeah, it's just one of those things where I know I'd die. I'd die straight away. I'm too chronically ill. I'd die. Yep.
I'd just lie down and be like, "Feed me to the frog." That is honestly so bad. That is so
literally.
Bad. I honestly same. Honestly same. Let's be honest for a second. No. Mm-mm.
And the thing is, my session wouldn't be the same as the session in Homestuck, so I probably wouldn't have that evil entity Jack Noir or Lord English. And even without those big bads, I'd still die.
Probably. Okay, I already asked what other things are influenced by Homestuck. Now we're turning that back. First off, how much mythology did Andrew just ram into this shit? Like, I already saw all the snake names and I was like, I see what you did there, buddy. How much is actually like put into it or referenced in it? What I don't know. That's also a question of what do you know and what do you think, where Andrew took a lot of influence with that.
Well, there's also references to eldritch horrors as well, because they're creatures that exist within the void, and they so there's eldritch, there's Greek, there's demonology, there's there's Catholic references as well. There's so much. Oh my goodness. there's so many references to so many different things. Homestuck really is like Easter egg city. If you love references, you know how people say if you love Easter eggs and references, watch Ready Player One. Homestuck is like Ready Player One has taken a mountain of cocaine. Like it's the only way to describe it, because there's so many references to so many different things. Like there's even a Doctor Who reference in Homestuck.
Yeah, of course
So
there is.
like it's and it's made by the Time Player, because of course it is.
Bit on the nose, but yeah.
It's a bit on the nose.
Just
Yeah,
not-
teehee. It's one of those things where there's so many different references to so many different like mythological creatures and gods and demons, and so many. Even the species that Lord English is, they're called cherubs, and they are these like huge green skull creatures that turn into snakes. And their whole mating process is basically a double Ouroboros, and whoever consumes the other wins and lays an egg.
Andrew,
like,
we need to talk. What's your grievance with snakes, dude? I want to have a word. This is a bit ridiculous. Look at me.
So many
Very
snakes were
ridiculous.
harmed in the process. Many
Yeah.
snakes were harmed in the process of Homestuck. Yeah.
That shit, dude. What is up with that?
Well, I will say there is one cherub that they befriend, and she's lovely, and her name is Calliope, and she's Lord English's sister. So
Every time I hear Lord English, it takes me out, because that is the cheesiest villain name I have ever heard in the existence of.
He got his name from one of the characters, Jake English. There's like weird timey-wimey things that happen, and he ends up being influenced by Jake English and takes on that name. But here's the thing. Jake English got his last name because his grandmother worked for a space alien sea witch that also worked underneath Lord English, and she took the last name to intimidate her boss who worked under Lord English. So Lord English named himself after a young boy who was also subsequently named after Lord English. Betty Crocker! Yes, Betty Crocker. Betty Crocker is an alien sea witch, by the way.
Is it the same Betty Crocker? Is it
Yes.
like... okay. Sure.
Yep. The Batter Witch.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah.
Jake
Homestuck, Betty
English
Crocker is
sounds like the name of the most shonen antagonist for like a very bad very bad kids book trilogy.
Oh, in Homestuck, he's a himbo that's obsessed with movies and thinks that all movies are good, like all of them. He loves them. He watches every movie and loves every single one and doesn't think bad movies exist. He's obsessed with blue women specifically, especially Neytiri from Avatar. And ends up in a canonically gay relationship with Dirk Strider.
When did Avatar out?
I think it was 2012.
Nope, 2009.
Oh, damn, 2009. Yeah, same year as Homestuck then.
Yeah, because I was like, wait a second, that feels like a yeah, it is that. Okay.
It's worth noting that Homestuck started in 2009 but didn't finish until 2016.
Yeah, of course not. It's a webcomic. Let's be honest, either they're wrapped up in a year or two because it was actually planned that way, or they go on for a million fucking years. There is no in
Oh, Hussey had no plan. He had no plan. He went through hiatus moments as well, and the fans called the first one the Megapause because it was like 6 months. And then he went on hiatus for a full year, which is when I started reading, which was the Gigapause. And then he came back from the Gigapause, dropped a flash that murdered most of the main characters, and then said, "I see you for 2 weeks."
See, I said in a last stream where I answered the question if I would ever. I said jokingly that this is for me the same as One Piece, that I will never read it because it's also too much. But now listening to that, because my One Piece theory is that Oda has no idea what he's doing, or didn't have any idea for a very long time. He just realized that One Piece became like actually famous and liked, and it was like, shit. Where are we going with this?
Homestuck started as almost like a choose your own adventure, because the Homestuck forum, Hussey would basically let people decide what the next panel would be, but he had to stop doing that because Homestuck grew so much that there were so many fan submissions that he ended up taking control of the narrative himself and building upon what the fans decided. And that is how Homestuck was birthed. And I think it was around Act 2 when he stopped doing it.
That makes
or
sense.
Act 3. I think it was like Act 2 or Act 3 when he had to stop doing it because it was just too much for him, which is totally fair because like Homestuck really blew up really quickly. This was like 2010, so.
What do you think actually made it blew up like this?
I think it was a combination of things. I think it was one, the accessibility of your own character insertion into the universe. It's so easy to make your own character in Homestuck. You can make a troll, you can make a human, you can give them god tiers, you can make your own planet. It's so easy to place yourself in that universe that it makes it really accessible to the creators, to the imaginatives, and also Tumblr.
Yeah.
Tumblr was a huge factor. This is the era of Super Hulock. This is the era of Tumblr fandoms being, this was Tumblr at its peak. This was like Dan and Phil. This was Super Hulock. This was Homestuck, Hetalia. This is peak Tumblr.
God,
and I was there.
I remember being in the trenches of the Mish Apocalypse.
The Mish Apocalypse. I haven't heard that word in so long. Oh my gosh. Oh my god, the Mish Apocalypse. I almost forgot about it.
I only watched Sherlock, and I also had a very unhealthy obsession with Sherlock because we all had, let's be honest. I never watched Doctor Who. I never watched Supernatural. But I was in the trenches. I was there too. The Tumblr trauma is. Hey, honestly, okay. Tumblr is. I don't know how they handled it the last year, but in the 2010s, I think Tumblr was the most creative site with their April 1st jokes. Like, they were genuinely funny. Not too much, not too niche, and they kind of worked. And they were just funny, and it happened, and then it's okay. The Mish Apocalypse was so good. That was real.
Yeah. AO3 also does really good April Fool's jokes. Did you see the one from this year?
No, not at all.
They changed their name from Archive of Our Own to Omega of Our Own.
That makes so much sense. That makes so much sense.
So that was really funny. It was Omega AO3 for a while. But yeah, it's one of those where it's like a combination of an easily accessible world building universe, good cosplays that are very easy and accessible to do. Tumblr.
That is okay. That is my thing. I had a friend in that time who was also very obsessed with Homestuck, and God, was he annoying about that. So I never read it.
Yeah.
Can we talk about the old Homestuck fandom for a second? Because most of them are now also adults. Most of them also hopefully grew out of that shit.
I just had to pull my soul back in my body.
Yeah, I know. It's a difficult topic. I'm very aware because I think what most people know about Homestuck is all the horrible, notorious stories about that fandom, including the Sharpie bath. Who doesn't know about the Sharpie?
It's the most famous story. I remember that happening too.
do you wanna explain that real quick to people who are luckily unaware and will have to learn now?
Marsh, I can confirm that it is in fact real. It did happen. A lot of people say, "Oh, it didn't actually happen." No, it did. She went to hospital. She nearly died. So there was this like Terezi cosplayer that basically rented out a hotel room with a bunch of other people, and she wanted to get her skin gray for her cosplay because Terezi is an alien. She's a troll. And unlike normal people who use Snazaroo or, costume body paint, she decided to fill a bath with alcohol and drop gray Sharpies into the bath and then submerge herself. And I can't stress this enough. This is dangerous. Never do it. Don't fucking do that. You will be hospitalized at best, and at worst, you will die. It is very, very dangerous to do that. So she obviously got very, very sick, had to be rushed to the hospital, and she never paid for her room when she was sharing with her friends. She didn't pay for the room. She didn't pay for the damages to the bathtub, because the bathtub was incredibly damaged after that.
Yeah.
And she also never spoke to the people that she shared the room with ever again. She completely ghosted them.
I wouldn't either. I would also go into witness protection after this, not gonna lie.
Yeah. I don't know where she is, but I hope that she has learnt the wonders of Snazaroo.
This is also still the nice thing about Tumblr. Tumblr is still very much not that algorithmic. AKA, if you have an interest or if you follow people, you will find out about it. So the thing is that stories like this so easily circulated on Tumblr because it wasn't hidden from people. And if it had enough traction, it ended everywhere. And I think this is the bad thing about the infamy of the Homestuck fandom. Because at the end of the day, it's most of them are also people. I hope.
Yeah. So yeah, she ended up in hospital and she was obviously treated and she was fine afterwards, but she was very sick for a while. So that's the Sharpie bath incident. And that's why Homestuck cosplayers got banned from a lot of hotels in the US.
Understandably.
It's because they would ruin bathrooms, ruin bath towels and things like that because of the grey paint and all of that. And Homestuck fans never sealed their bloody paint, and yeah, it was a nightmare.
Yeah.
There was also the bucket fiasco. Yes.
Yeah.
Oh,
hey,
God,
do you wanna explain to us real quick how trolls reproduce?
Okay, fine.
Hey, you choose that topic. You should have known we would go in this direction. So
yeah, I should have known that buckets would be brought up eventually. So the best way to think of the trolls in Homestuck is that they are an alien species that is heavily inspired by bees. The way that bees reproduce is very similar to the way that trolls reproduce. They have a queen, and that queen collects genetic material from the rest of the species. It's worth noting that trolls all contribute. It isn't a male and female like species. Many people believe it is because they have a very shallow understanding of trolls, whereas I've actually deep dived into this and have realized that there's actually no sexual dimorphism between any of the trolls and that they are all single sex. And also, the queen, quote unquote, that collects all the genetic material isn't actually a troll. It's a mother grub, which is a large creature that basically bathes in a pool of genetic material and absorbs it all at once. And so in order to collect this genetic material from all of the trolls living on the planet, they have to put it in a bucket, and then the bucket gets taken and poured into the big pool, the slurry that it's actually canonically called, the genetic slurry, and then the mother grub will lay, thousands and thousands of eggs that will eventually hatch as little troll grubs, and then those will pupate eventually, and then they will become trolls with 2 arms and 2 legs.
The char guy hates to see them. Oh my god.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
I love Tumblr, but god, I hate Tumblr. Ooh. Ooh. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, that's the too long didn't read version of reproduction.
I walked in on incredible Homestuck lore, but hey, hi, welcome in. That's what this episode of Hydrafixation is about. It's but what I actually love about from all the stuff I learned about Homestuck, I actually love the relationship quadrant bullshit. I love that.
Oh yeah, the quadrants are actually really cool, especially if you are a shipper. It opens up so many more ships for you, and as we all know, I am a shipper. I love shipping. I write fanfiction all the time, so I took to Homestuck because of the shipping.
Can you? I can just turn off the presentation real quick. Can you pull up into a new page or something, actually the quadrants, because I also want to talk about that from a like media perspective, because that opens up so many cool dynamics that we should talk about.
I can. One moment.
Yes, it's safe to do shit. It's not on stream.
Okay.
Did you press jump on it? Yeah, because it makes I learned about that, and I was like, oh, that is actually cool. That's actually really cool. That makes so much sense.
It should be on screen now. Oh no, wait, no, it's not. I need to switch my stream. Change stream to this. There you go.
I also love that everything Homestuck is this incredible. Yeah. I love that. Like, I have to agree, the world building is insane. As much as there's probably a lot to criticize about that, which is a later question. But yeah, I wanna. Can you explain that real quick? How that works?
Okay, so troll romance is divided into 4 quadrants. There is red, pale, black, and grey. Now there are concupiscent quadrants. Those are the more sexual leaning quadrants, and then there is the conciliatory quadrants, which are more platonic, and then there are the red romance quadrants, which are more affectionate, more loving, and then there is the black romance quadrants, which surround a rivalry, a heated rivalry, if you were.
Oh my god. Hey, we're going with the zeitgeist here, people. We're talking about heated.
It was just a reference. Let me do it. Come on. So we'll start with the first one, which is probably the easiest for us to talk about because it's the closest to humans' understanding of traditional romantic relationships, which is red rom, or also known as matespritship. Matespritship is literally just 2 trolls love each other very much and they kiss and then they fill a bucket. That's it. And then you have pale, which is Moira Allegiance, which is the diamond. That is like platonic soulmates. That's like you love them to pieces. They are like your best friend. But at the same time, you're not, romantic. You're just friends, but they're your soulmate. Then we go into the black romances.
Interesting ones. The one where the shipper went like, oh, that's an option.
Yeah, literally my brain unlocked. So we have we have Kismisitude, which is the spade, and that is kind of like a rivalry. Sometimes it can get violent. It's kind of loosely described as hate fucking, but I kind of disagree with that a little bit. We the reason why it's described that way is because there's very unhealthy Kismisitudes in Homestuck, and it's even mentioned that it's unhealthy. But the problem is, people don't pick up on that because they don't have a lot of, literacy skills. So it's one of those where it's like, well, no, it's not really hate fucking. It's more just a rivalry that's supposed to challenge you. It's like, that kind of like, I'm going to be bad. It's like Kaiba and Yugi in Yu-Gi-Oh!
Yeah.
That is a really good example of a Kismisitude because they're rivals. They don't always get along, but they always drive each other to be better. And that's what it's supposed to be. Now, just imagine, well, I would say just imagine, but let's be honest, we don't really have to imagine because they're very on the nose with how homosexual that is. Anyway, and then, of course, we have the club, which is Auspicious. And I can never say it correctly, so if you're gonna comment, you said it wrong, I know, shut up, moving on. This is the Ashen Quadrant, and it's actually a mediator role. Because sometimes Kismisitudes can get very unhealthy, they can get violent, and they can get abusive. And so to prevent that, and to keep it on track as being a positive rivalry, there is a third person that steps in and mediates that relationship. And that is the Troll Quadrants.
I love that the couple becomes a polycule because someone needs to fucking balance them out. I like that concept.
Literally.
I love that concept in so much. And
it's worth mentioning as well, trolls will fill multiple quadrants at a time. It is not seen as cheating because they are in different quadrants. If you were to have two mate splits, that's seen as infidelity. But if it's a mate split and a kismesis, that's not infidelity because that's two different types of love.
I hate that Homestuck is much more mature about relationship anarchy than anything else. I hate that.
Yeah.
Damn.
I know.
God, it's frustrating. Help. Oh, God. No, but I love this. Okay. First off, I feel like we need a lot more platonic shippings out there. In any favor, I want more of my queer platonic relationships out there. Cool. Second, yes, I also want to see more rivalries, and not rivalries that just exist for them to fuck at the end. I love myself. Lover storyline, do not get me wrong, it's fucking cool. There's so much more potential. There's so much more potential, especially since a good rivalry needs respect underneath. And I think that's what people always forget. Come on, we can do better.
Yeah. And Neko is right, by the way. The trolls call the humans out in the comic all the time for their simplistic love, like your stupid simple red rom only romance, and Karkat, one of the main trolls, he's obsessed with romance movies and rom-coms and things like that. He's obsessed with it. He considers himself an expert in troll romance, and he's the one who drew this grid, by the way. He loves talking about it. He will draw a shipping chart for you. He is one of those guys. And he calls people out all the time on the simple human romance system because it's just one quadrant to him. And he's like, that's so primitive.
And he's right. It's primitive and it's not that natural to humanity.
I wish we had more information on the leprechaun quadrants.
The what?
So, so in Homestuck, there are creatures known as the leprechauns. They're not actual leprechauns. They're not
of
fae.
course
They're just
they're
called
not.
that. But they're also known as the felt, and their quadrants are 9, not 4. And they don't really explain it. They don't explain each of the 9 quadrants. I think the leprechaun's just a joke. I think it's just a reference to them being green, because they're just solid green. So yeah.
Fair, I guess. Sure.
I think it really is just as simple as they're green, call them leprechauns. Classic American association mentality. But yeah, it's way more complex than the Trolls romance, and they'll fill multiple quadrants at once for someone, which we saw in the Collide Flash, where Karkat defeated the number 4, which I think his name is Clover. He defeated him, and Clover's eyes were flashing like 3 different quadrants. So he was feeling something for Karkat, but we didn't know what it was, because they never explain it. They show it briefly, and we're like, okay, explain. And Andrew Hussey's like, nah, you already get bored with me explaining the troll quadrants to you, so we won't get into this. And thus, we were cock-blocked from an entirely new shipping system.
What is good sentence?
The chart. You think Andrew Hussey would make an entirely complex romance shipping chart for a joke? Of course he would.
Yeah.
But if you think that it wouldn't have definitions and genuine meanings, then you are naive. Because he would absolutely build an entirely new romance system for the purpose of a joke. Let's be honest.
I'm learning so much passively about other people, and other people I know just make so much more sense knowing that they're Homestuck. I just, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know if it helps for me getting more or less appreciation for the person I'm talking about, but it just makes more sense, I guess.
It's worth noting that Andrew Hussey is currently in his mid-40s, and he is a juggalo.
Oh, and by the way, he's on Art Fight this year.
Yeah.
I don't. I heard that and was like, okay, cool. I guess.
Yeah. Like, if you Google what he looks like now, he is literally full-time juggalo, wears the full ICP, like, face paint. He's got emo hair. He surrounds himself with pictures of Jimin from BTS. And just, like, poses like it's an edgy MySpace post. Like...
Honestly, I don't know what this guy thinks about on other social issues, whatever the fuck. But honestly, good for him. Like, as a base note... Yeah, you can be like that in your 40s. Have fucking fun. Sure, go for it.
Yeah. I couldn't believe it, because I remember nerdy Andrew Hussey. I remember when he was a nerd, and he looked like a moderately sized dog could take him out. And now it's like, wow, I'm 14 and this is deep. He is also gender weird and uses all pronouns.
Gender weird is such a good word.
Yeah, gender weird. That's his words.
Yeah, I respect that. That's a good.
It's a juggalo thing, right? Isn't it? He uses like juggalo specific pronouns as well. Like he uses any all, but it's like juggalo specific pronouns included. Clown gender, yeah.
I know nothing about that, and okay.
The commander conification.
Yeah.
Incredible.
I mean, not wrong, Marsh. Not wrong.
Yeah. Juggalos are just like people that are clowns. It's hard to explain.
It's a
and not clowns like the actual clowns.
It's a
like the
very
wet face
specific
paint and-
clown. It's a very specific clown aesthetic. It's a very specific like subculture, but that's also very tied with very specific belief. Yeah.
Yeah. It's I mean, like, yeah, juggalos are chill. I've met two and they were very chill. They usually just want to like do their own thing, juggle, ride a unicycle, and then get high. That's literally it.
No, honestly, I have a lot of respect for like a white nerd in his 40s being like, you know what, I'm just now doing what I want. I'm just now committing to that because this is what we all should do.
He finished Homestuck. He's allowed. He did his time.
That's his decompression.
Yeah. He's like, Homestuck's finally over. I no longer have 16-year-olds harassing me. I can breathe now. I'm gonna go be a juggalo and pose in a skate park with graffiti all around me and face paint, and then obsess over Jimin from BTS. Why not?
I honestly, I think the K-pop in between, that sells it for me. Because otherwise I would be, okay, then maybe a bit, but sure.
Yeah.
Love it. Okay. What is for you the worst thing? Well, what is the worst thing about Homestuck for you? And maybe even something you would love to eradicate out of it if you could.
I'm so glad you asked. Okay, so here's the thing.
That was way too much enthusiasm. Okay, let's go.
There is a final boss battle in Homestuck. As you imagine, like, there's all these big bads. Eventually, there's going to be, like, the final boss battle that finishes Homestuck, right? Now, I will warn you, this is going to contain some spoilers, okay? That's your warning. I'll try to keep it brief, and I'll try not to go into detail. In the final boss battle, which is the Collide Flash, Jade is literally the single most powerful player in the team. Jade has the power of a planet first guardian, and she is a god-tiered witch of space. She can manipulate all of space, change the sizes of things, shrink planets, throw meteors, and she can teleport throughout anywhere in the entire universe. She is insanely powerful, right? In that boss battle, she never fights. She is just taking her dogs out for a walk. She's not even trying to split up the two like opposing Jack Noir and Bec Blanc,
amazing.
I think they're called. Like, she's not trying to like fight them. She's just trying to split them up and get between them. But she's not fighting, and she is the most powerful. She's not even the one facing Lord English. Friska's doing that with all the aura of the entire series of fucking solo leveling. Like, solo leveling has got nothing on Friska in that final boss fight when she is walking with an entire army of ghosts up to Lord English. And Friska's not even like god tiered. She's just in her jeans and Converse. And Jade is there with all that power, taking her dogs for a walk. It drives me insane. Do you know Dirk died twice in that fight and had to be resurrected because Jade was taking her dogs for a walk.
I get the frustration context with going like, nah, thanks, and that society sounds like...
It makes me so mad. Friska is definitely built different. I hate her, but at the same time, she's awesome, and I hate that.
You guys got this, bye.
No, literally. It's so frustrating. She's the most powerful character, and she does nothing. Like, if you removed her, if you actually just removed her from the final boss fight, nothing would change, and I hate that, because she's so powerful. It drives me insane.
Does it make sense for a character to do that? Oh, okay.
No, because she is violent. That's the thing. She gets into scraps. She fights. She has an argument with Carcat and tells them to shut the fuck up. She will square up. She has been known to square up, and it pisses me off. Like, she can get angry, but she just doesn't fight with them, and it makes no sense. But the thing is, Neko, it's not her dog anymore. These are like separate entities that have the power of her dog. And they have the loyalty, so they won't attack her, but there's nothing stopping her from attacking them. We're talking about one of them gave the universe cancer and destroyed her universe to the point where she had to scratch and go into a whole nother universe. And then you've got the other one that's trying to kill that one. So help the other one, kill that one, and boom, job's done. Like, her logic made no sense. At that point, she was 16 years old. And it was just really frustrating. It drove me insane. And it still drives me insane. Watching Collide, every time she shows up, I'm like, oh, fuck off.
Yeah,
Go away.
I love how very calm and collected you stayed during this. It's the one thing in Homestuck that just really drives me insane. There's so many things in Homestuck where I'm like, that was a choice. That was a really interesting choice, or didn't like that. But Jade Harley in that final boss battle is the worst thing I could think of in Homestuck. Besides the slurs. Like, I would also remove the slurs, obviously, but there's already a mod replacer that does that. Like, the fans took that into their own hands. They removed that. So that's been done. So for me, I would remove Jade from that fight, or I'd make her more useful. I'm also, by the way, I'm very impressed that this is the one thing that's, one of all, understandable, and second, I'd expected so much worse stuff than a logical narrative adjustment. I don't know what I expected, but not this.
The problem is, Homestuck is so expansive and there's so much to it. There's even like time jumping, there's like meta narrative influences and things like that. There's like Homestuck where we get a new narrator and everything changes and it gets really weird. And then there's like Trickster Stuck, which is a whole other segment of Homestuck that is honestly not for people with photosensitive epilepsy. I can't stress that enough. If you do have photosensitive epilepsy, be very careful with Homestuck. There's so much flashing in it. Like, so much flashing in it. And don't take that lightly. I'm being very serious with that warning. There's so many elements to Homestuck, and I feel like changing any of it would probably not impact the main plot, let's be honest, but it would impact the depth of the world. It would impact the depth of the story. Even if it's something as simple as making Guy Fieri the Antichrist or Betty Crocker an alien space Hitler. You know what I mean? Like, I don't think removing those things would be necessary, because I didn't think they were bad. I didn't think that they were a bad choice. I thought it brought color to the universe. It was interesting. It was weird, sure. It was out of pocket, absolutely. But it's fun. And it builds on the world, and it's something to joke about. Even something as stupid as buckets has become one of the most talked about things in Homestuck that's actually in the story. And it's such a throwaway thing that's barely mentioned and is just a little visual gag where Karkat gets hit in the head with a bucket and he has a freak out. Like, it's something so small, but it builds so much within the fandom, within the universe. And so I think removing any of it would diminish the story, even if it's small. And so I think that the only thing that truly needed to be changed was Jade in that final battle, because that, for me, it was unnecessary, and it could have been done better, and it wasn't.
Very fair. Also, Hazel, for that fucking joke, you can get me a gin tonic. Thank you. What?
A lot of memes came from it. Yeah, so many Homestuck memes, and they're so good. Some of them are so good.
honestly, as out of pocket Homestuck is, from every time I hear something new about it, I'm like, sure, that happened. Choices.
Yeah.
I miss media being that out of. I miss
Oh,
media being
no,
silly
absolutely.
for just being silly.
You couldn't release Homestuck now. Homestuck being a product of its time is what made it able to be released.
Yeah, I will.
Like-
I have that on my list. Do we have the Finnish Ruby one? If not, I'll take the normal Finnish gin thing. No, but that's the thing, and that is also horribly enough. We wouldn't have shit like this without the internet and people being able to share it. Social media, on the other hand, really took away all the whimsy and silly bullshit from it. Finish. What do you need me for? Nothing, Nakabong. Nothing. Just a side thing that my favorite gin is a Finnish gin. It's I should stop associating with Finnish. It's getting too much. It's just too much.
Just accumulating a collection at this point.
Hey, you find one Finnish person, you have 12 now. I don't know what happened. Finland has like 24 citizens.
Could we technically call you a Finnaboo?
Absolutely fucking not. Absolutely fucking not. Not gonna happen. Do you hear me? Do you hear me speak bad Finnish? No. So I'm still.
Just incorporate it into your English sentences, like we used to.
No, ew. You say Finland by bouncing you someone as well. Yeah, I also love that almost half of Finland are VTubers. Every Finnish streamer is seemingly a VTuber. Why are there so many of you guys?
Yeah.
He has a sticker book for collecting people. That is true.
Norway is filled with like furry artists as well.
Interesting.
Yeah, and I know this because my emo artist is a furry artist from Norway.
I mean,
and that's how I found out.
I can't stop associating with Finnish people because my model parent is Finnish.
Incredible. It just gets better. I mean, my model parent is German, so...
Yeah, well. Finnish is easier, necessary letters to every word. That is, it's something. It is something. No, before I want to start the discussion of Homestuck in 2026, I want to talk about all the side media that exists, because I know I know the video games exist. Like
there's so many video games.
Pesta Quest is the one I know.
There's Pesta Quest, there is Hiveswap, there's Hiveswap Friend Sim, and there's also fan-made content as well.
Okay, that was a question. Those are all official games?
Yes.
Okay.
So the fan-made content gets really cool. Really cool. You can play Esburb in Minecraft because there is a Minecraft mod pack called Homestuck.
Of course.
Which randomly generates a planet for you, just like in Esburb. You have to play it in Minecraft.
Things
and it's really friggin' cool.
Things autistic people love, Minecraft and Homestuck.
Yep, pretty much. The overlap was going to happen. There is also there's a project on Steam to create Spurb, like Esburb, and it's still in the works. They're still working on it. It's an ongoing project, but they're working on putting it in Gary's mod, and it's still in development. It's been in development for a long time, but you can play it right now. So yeah. There's also like fan animations and things like that. There's also the original Pestachum, which is the social media application that the kids use to talk to each other. That has actually been made, and you can use it. And I used it. I used it back in the day. I talked to my Homestuck friends through Pestachum, and there's also a setting you can switch it to Trollian, which is the social media client that the trolls use. So you can change the entire layout so it looks like Trollian. And you could like have your own typing quirks, and you could type in different colors and things like that, just like they do in the comic. I don't know if that's still working. I haven't used it in like 10 years. But they also had something called Alternia FM, which was a radio app that played Homestuck music 24/7, and you could download it to your phone. I used to listen to it all the goddamn time. I would literally just put Alternia FM on my phone, have it playing while it was charging overnight, and I just listened to Homestuck music when I went to sleep. And it's incredible.
How did that influence you as a person?
Oh boy, gee, I wonder. I think Homestuck for me, it made me more of a writer. It made me want to get into world building more. I went from writing dialogue, almost exclusively dialogue, to focusing on world building, to focusing on setting the scene. I became a descriptive writer instead of just a dialogue writer. And now I'll write paragraphs and paragraphs and paragraphs with no dialogue, because I just want to set the scene. I want to take you into that world now, because Homestuck took me into that world. I became really into shipping and fan fiction way more than I was before. I was already writing it, don't get me wrong, but Homestuck definitely opened the door further, and I fell deeper down that well. And now I'm at the point where I've written over 300 VTuber fan fictions alone in the past, 4 years. So yeah, it's influenced my creativity. It made me cosplay. It got me out the house. I met people. There are some people that I met cosplaying Homestuck that I'm still friends with over 10 years later.
And this is why we need weird fandom. This is why we need to get this. Okay, I don't know if anyone like early 20s here sitting around. Throw cringe out of the fucking window. Stop being scared being perceived, because in all honesty, even with social media, people don't fucking care about you. Hard sentence, people don't fucking care about you. Hi, early 20s here. Okay, cool. Pop, listen up. The thing is, no one fucking cares. No one fucking cares.
Yeah.
If you're weird, you will find other weird people who will join you. Except by a VTuber. With another VTuber, with VTubers in chat. I think, it comes across. Be cringe, be free, look at all the weird stuff, do the weird stuff. I think this is the more important thing. I think people are so fucking scared by now to be weird and put their weird art out. No, do it. Do it, because there's always someone else who's scared of it, will see it, and then actually do their weird thing too.
May I ask a question?
Oh god, sure.
May I have a bathroom break, please?
Sure.
Thank you, be right back.
I've been weird for almost my whole life. Yeah, good. Yeah, but that's a thing I noticed, that a lot of people are so scared of being weird, and usually get back to it when they're older. I also had my face off. I'm too cool for... Wait a fucking second. Sorry. Hi, Kay. I'll take the hydrate. Thank you. You'll find a lot of people, and I include myself, I think I started to be a lot weirder in the last 5-6 years. Because if you're weird and comfortable with your own weirdness and your interests, other people will be more comfortable too. They will come out as little weirdos too, and you just have more fun. That's my takeaway on a lot of things. And I hate how much potential incredible media is lost right now because people are too scared to do it. I think I've become even more weird when I started streaming. Yeah, also honestly same. Honestly same, and especially in VTubing, and that is also why I think VTubing is one of the most incredible mediums we have that came out in the last I don't know how many years, is that it's so easy to be weird because you can kind of not hide yourself, but you can distance yourself and create your own, comfortable zone. It's funny to say that reading Homestuck was nostalgic despite never reading it until last year. It reminded me of old internet friends. Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Luckily, I was always weird and people finally started becoming okay with being weird too. Yeah. Also, that's also the thing. This is also why every time I go to someone and be like, hey, do you want to be on Hydrafixation? They're like, I don't even know what I would talk about. That's a fucking lie. Everyone has something they're weirdly passionate or knowledgeable about. It's just true. Everyone. Even if it's something more mainstream or like socially accepted, I do not care. It doesn't have to be niche shit like Homestuck. Come here and talk 20 minutes about your favorite car. I don't give a shit. No,
I also want to say, because you were asking me like how much Homestuck has impacted me, and I just remembered, because I didn't mention earlier, Homestuck is how I got into voice acting.
Makes so much sense. God, comic dubs.
Yep. Yeah,
I missed
it wasn't just doing like comic dubs and like fan comic dubs, which I also did do. And this is the part where I shield myself ever so slightly from judgment, because don't you dare judge me for this. But I was part of a group on Tumblr where we made our own scripts and we voice acted them, and it was called Homesmut. And it was basically NSFW content in character voices. And I usually would end up voicing Carcat or Dave, but I bounced around and I did like Eridan from time to time and Solix, and I would do Dirk as well. And they also asked me to do Jake a lot because I'm British. And they always wanted me to do my best Jake English, so I would hop into the booth and do it straight away.
Oh god.
So yeah, it's one of those where that's kind of how I got into character voices and voice acting. And now I'm currently my current voice acting project, I'm working on narrating a published book for an audiobook.
I'm excited.
Yeah, I'm gonna be narrating an audiobook for a published author. But don't worry, if you think it sounds too professional, it's Omegaverse Yaoi, so it's right on brand for me.
I mean, yeah.
Yeah.
It's just funny. Okay, on one hand, it's so funny that now people think comic dubs and shit like this is cringy. And on the other hand, how much the market increased for like the boyfriend audio, ASMR character audio niche.
Yeah.
Like, guys, that is the same shit. That is literally the same thing.
Yeah, the difference is the boyfriend audio is one-sided, whereas we would normally work as pairs, and we would send the audio to each other, and then like would fill in the blanks basically. But it's essentially the same thing. It's grunts and breathing and just suggestive conversation.
Yeah.
And that's it. It's the same thing. It's existed for a long time. It's just going by a different name now.
And now that handsome deep voice guys do it, now it's suddenly cool.
Yeah. No one thought it was cool when it was Gamzee voice actors going, "I'ma get on my motherfucking fun time and have a good time." You know what I mean? Like no one was thinking it was cool back then, but it's cool now.
I heard that was something we all had to listen to. Yeah. Also, I don't know what the news is, but animated Homestuck?
Yes. So Vivsy Pop now have the rights to make an animated show of Homestuck, which makes sense because they're fans. So of course they picked it up if they were able to. They're currently looking for a host. It's probably going to end up on something like Amazon Prime.
Sorry, if Homestuck lands on Amazon, this is, I don't know, this is as much as I hate Amazon, this is a weird triumph. That is kind of fucking cool. I was already happy when they got Aspen Hotel and Hell of a Boss on them.
The reason why I think it's going to be Amazon Prime is because Vivsy already has their foot in the door there, and they have already done well there.
Yes.
Also, Homestuck official merch gets sold on Amazon.
Okay.
You can buy like the official volumes, you can buy the official albums there. And because of that, I think it's going to be a lot easier for them to get on Amazon than it would be for like Netflix or other hosting sites, because Amazon at the very least are familiar with Vivsy and familiar with Homestuck.
Also, Netflix hates creative original content. I think they made that very clear in the last years.
Yeah, they really hate original content that's creative. And I also I can't see Netflix doing Homestuck because it represents everything that Netflix has just tried its best to destroy. Because Homestuck really is just LGBT chaos at the end of the day. I can't imagine Netflix would pick it up. A lot of people are like, it could go to Netflix. And I'm like, no, come on, be real, darling.
I mean, if it goes to Netflix, we get one half-assed season and then it will be cancelled.
That's what I'm worried about as well, because Homestuck is a very, very long story. It's 1 million words long. It's 8,000 plus pages.
Yeah.
So while I think they did do a very good pilot, by the way, that pilot was incredible. As a long-term Homestuck fan, I can tell you that pilot was a very good adaptation, and it gave me very high hopes, and it's got me really excited. I do think they're going to be able to do it justice because they're fans. I'm worried that if they go to a place where they're not going to have that freedom, like Netflix, it's going to kill the series. And Homestuck's going to die for a second time. So, yeah, I'm just worried about that. I prefer them going to Amazon because at the very least they'll be able to, have their freedom and do what they want.
Which is a weird thought. I never thought that this would be a thing, but considering the Critical Role animated shows, considering Aspen Hotel and Hell of a Boss, Amazon leaves them a lot of freedom.
I think it's because they care more about money than they do about control.
Which is the smart decision. Yeah. Still bad, smarter decision. Better for us.
Yeah. It's better for the creatives that you're more focused on making money and actually having the product be sent out than trying to control the product before it's sent out, because that's how you kill a series. That's how you kill the fun. But yeah, I'm very excited about it. I remember seeing the pilot when it dropped, and it was insane. I love the references that they added to the original webcomic as well. The way that they do the conversations over the phone instead of through text is really fun. Love that. Also, fun fact, the voice actor for John Egbert, the main character, is Toby Fox. Yeah.
Of course.
Yeah, Toby Fox did the voice of John Egbert. And the voice actor for Jade Harley also voice acted Tails in Sonic.
On one thing, I'm very happy that in the last 5-6 years, we got so much animation beyond anime. And especially animation that is catered to adults or a more adult audience. And that starts with shit like BoJack Horseman, ends with the Critical Role adaptation, and Homestuck the same. And I love how many voice actors just now having fun with shit. Because I think years ago, no one would have done that. Because, oh my god, what does that do to my reputation? Now, they're all just, fuck that, gimme. Okay. Yeah. Now
I also want to say we don't know who's going to voice act all the trolls except for Karkat. I really hope one of the trolls ends up being Alejandro Saab.
Thank you. I wanted to throw Sayu's name in the ring. Marsh did it too. Thank you. The hive mind works.
Oh my god, we all said the same thing. Amazing.
That man is too
we need
employed.
him. We need him in Homestuck because then we know it will be good.
That man is too employed for his own good. How the fuck is this man in every anime, in every game, and is a VTuber, and is on every convention? The fuck?
I mean, yeah, he lives rent-free in my head. Like, keep being successful, Sayu. Live your dream, buddy. Man's paying his bills. I respect it.
I'm also saying that now. Especially considering that one Crimson Ruse had an interview with one of the Homestuck people and all that. Give that man a little role. Give that man a speaking role in the Homestuck series. Please, for the love of God.
Yeah.
He deserves it.
Yeah, he does.
And it would be funny as fuck. It would just be funny as fuck.
You mentioned Ruse, so
I did it for shit.
I said to Helia before we started stream, I said if Ruse is mentioned, I am activating the Ruse pillow.
I love that you basically had your finger on the button.
Oh yeah, I did. I was ready.
yeah. Fyra has a whole collection of darkies.
I can't imagine Ruse will be Karkat because we already have Karkat casted.
Give this man some side role that has like 2 minutes of dialogue. That's all I'm asking.
You know what would be really, really, really funny? Is if they give him the role of Kankri, which is Karkat's father. Who is the most pretentious social justice warrior that talks to everyone about how they should check their privilege and tag their triggers while also being incredibly offensive, but putting a holier than thou. Yeah, troll Jesus. Yeah, troll Jesus. Make him troll Jesus.
Yes.
Make Ruse troll Jesus.
Can we campaign for this officially? That would be. Oh, that would be.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Ruse being Kankri would be incredible. See, you understand my vision. You get it.
Even I understand the vision from my limited Homestuck knowledge. Even I am like, yeah, I can
It's worth
see
noting that all of the trolls in Homestuck, their personalities are based on just really shitty internet personalities that have been amplified for the sake of comedy. Yeah. So every single troll in Homestuck is based on some kind of internet personality that you've encountered. That's why Karkat's always raging. That's why Nepeta is a shipper that ships her friends and ships everything. And she's always like role playing and shipping. And then you've got like you've got like the bigot, which is Equius, who's also kind of like weird and creepy and like weirdly sexual and doesn't ask for your consent for those things and kind of ropes you into that. And then you've got like the stoner, which is Gamzee. And then you've got like Tavros, which is kind of the bullyable one, that's obsessed with like Pokemon, but it's like troll Pokemon, which is called Feeder Spawn. And yeah, and then you've got Frisker, who's like the bully who's better than everybody. So yeah. There's so many like internet personalities that have been squashed into Homestuck, and it's really cool. I love it, and that's why I always say every character in Homestuck is a piece of shit. They all are, even your favorite. They're all horrible people, but that doesn't mean you can't like them. I like a lot of characters in Homestuck, but I also recognize that they're terrible people.
This is also something I miss in media, by the way. I miss characters who are very well written and very well developed, who are just bad people, and I can still appreciate them of being a good written character, even if they're not a morally good character.
The Solix apologist. The Solix apologist. You do realize that he coded a virus that killed all of the trolls' parents. That's what I thought. Aradia! You want to talk about Aradia? Oh, let's go! Aradia.
I mean, considering who Neko's favorite Roosbo is, I
could break down every single character and explain why they're terrible. I had someone tell me that Serenity the Firefly is innocent because they're just a firefly. And I'm like, Serenity actually shit-talked the mayor if you translate the Morse code. Like, Serenity is also kind of mean to the mayor. So they're all awful people. All of them. There's not a single good person.
Are they all awful, or are they actually just three-dimensional?
Three-dimensional, 100%.
Yeah.
But they are also kind of shitty.
Yeah, I mean, because, everyone's a bit shitty. Come on, let's be honest. Yeah. Who isn't? It just is what it is.
It's what I like about Homestuck, though. Homestuck taught me to like villains. My favorite character in Homestuck is Eridan. Which, funnily enough, is Ruse's least favorite. Like, I love Eridan. He is a tragic, broken boy. And I love him to pieces. And he's also a genocidal maniac.
I hate how much that fits together usually.
Yeah. He just wants to feel important. He just wants to feel noticed and valued. And so he relies on a prejudiced caste system because in that system, he falls right at the top.
He would love the manosphere.
So he basically uses the prejudice, he uses the hemospectrum, he belittles low bloods, as they're called, trolls that are lower on the spectrum, and he says that he wants to eradicate them all, like full-blown genocide type thing. And he's just an awful bigoted guy, and he uses that bigotry because he wants to feel important, he wants to feel above people, he wants to feel valued, and the only way he can do that is through his bigotry.
Is there a tragic backstory attached, or
it's more nuanced, I think. I think a lot of people don't realize that about Eridan. But okay, I think if you're good at analyzing characters, you'd realize very quickly that he is just really broken, and he just wants to be important. It's explored more in PestaQuest, for sure. There's more of an Eridan redemption there, because it explores his inner thoughts more. But I think that most people won't realize a lot of the nuance with the characters because it's not... They're 13 years old. Well, they're 16, 13 years old. They're not going to talk about that because they're friggin' teenagers. Like, they're too busy being angsty.
I just hate when you have a really... I want my villains back to being bad people for the sake of being bad people and not because they can't... I don't want my villains to be theoretically have been fixed by therapy in their youth.
Oh, they have that in Homestuck. Jack Noir literally goes on a bender and gives the universe cancer just because he didn't want to wear a hat.
Depending on the hat, I get it.
It was a jester hat.
Okay, I get it. Yeah, nope. I think I can excuse that.
Also, Lord English wanted to destroy the entire universe just because he can.
This is the villain level I want. This is what I want. I want my Joker level psychopath to do shit for the sake of it.
Yeah.
I'm so done with villains. And by the way, this is also why I love all the old queer-coded Disney villains. Because they were just shitty.
Jafar, my love.
Scar.
Sorry.
Scar.
Oh, he's so gay.
Scar was my first fictional crush, and I think that says a lot about me.
That's so valid. My first fictional crush was Seto Kaiba. I think that says a lot about me.
Yeah. I get it.
Yeah.
But I love when the old school villains were shitty for the sake of it. Or mostly for the sake of it. Because none of them mostly live in situations where they couldn't decide to do other stuff. They just decided to do the shitty thing. Yeah.
Chaotic evil. Yeah.
Yeah.
True chaotic evil. I do like characters like that because Lord English very much is, I will kill you just because I can kill you. I want to destroy everything because I can. And even as a teenager, because you get to see Lord English grow up, when he's a teenager, his name is Caliban. And even as a teenager, he is just the worst. He's such a little shit. He is constantly like abusing and being mean to his sister. And she is just like, oh, I hate him, but I'm going to try to be nice to him. And it's like, girl, just smack him. Like, do something. You know, shit in his bed. Like, do something, girl. Like, please, because he deserves it. And he is just awful. He's mean. He's nasty. And there's no excuse. That's just the way that he is. That's just who he is. There's no tragic backstory because he was raised by a loving parent. It's just the race, like the species they are. They just naturally have these two sides to them. They have the extreme aggression and the extreme passive, like, part of them. And the sister is the passive, and he is the aggressive. And that's why he's just so mean. That's just the way he is. There's no reason or rhyme. It's just who he is.
Neko, since you said Maleficent, as much as I love the Angelina Jolie movie, like visually, and it's very well written and it looks incredible, I fucking hate it because we don't need it. And I hate that Disney had this face of, oh no, let's redeem all our villains and actually tell you that they had good reasons to become the... No, fuck it.
They did that with Cruella. They did that with Cruella.
Yes. No, I love cartoon Maleficent because that was the pettiest shit ever. And I kind of love that. I kind of love that she could have just been, oh, well, they didn't invite me, it's fine. But ruining a whole kingdom over not being invited, iconic behavior. Especially looking like this.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's like, you don't invite me to the party, I'm setting the house on fire.
Yeah. Love that. Love that.
I do like those just black and white villains where they're just all bad. There's no sympathy needed, no empathy. Like, I have zero empathy for Caliban. Like, he is just the worst. Like, Lord English, awful. Worst. And it's why I love him. He's such a good, evil, big bad guy. Because he is just the worst. With Vriska, there's like redeemable qualities, but she is still also the worst. But she had an awful upbringing, and that's her tragic backstory. But yeah, I think evil for the sake of evil is really fun, and we do need it a lot more. I'm tired of being sympathetic towards bad people.
This is also why, as much as I'm not a comic person, every time they give the Joker a backstory, I'm out. Don't fucking do that! He's perfect the way he is when we know nothing about him. Leave him alone. Leave him being this boogeyman and this narrative foil to Batman. Just leave it at that.
I also think that, like, making you sympathize with the Joker, it diminishes Harley's, like, survivor story as well. And I think that, like, you're taking away from a victim. So don't do that.
Yeah.
Let him be bad.
Yeah.
It elevates Harley's story. Like, let him just be bad.
It elevates everyone's story. Like, even Batman, who... Because all the other villains, more or less, have a reason of how they went down this path. And you can access that. Joker has always been this larger-than-life threat that could not be analyzed. You have no idea what he would do next. He would just do it for the sake of it. And that's perfect for our detective, very... It gives him the perfect moral conundrums of his own weird little codex. And I love that. I love that.
Yeah.
But last question on my list: Homestuck in the big 2026. First off, that one is layered. That one is layered.
Oh boy.
Okay, let's take out the slurs out of it and polish it a bit to, you know. Would that thing survive being published now?
No.
How long would you give it, actually, until Andrew Hussey would have been like, fuck you guys, I'm deleting my account?
It would have been Act 1. First 500 pages, yeah. The reason why is because very, very early on, there's like the very first conversation between John and Dave. They make a joke where John says to Dave, "You are very attractive. I'm attracted to you." And immediately people would be like, "This is woke. This is blah, blah, blah." You know that would happen.
I mean, yeah.
Especially in today's environment. The moment there is anything that isn't like cis, het, white, like immediately, it's woke. And
people today
then
wouldn't survive David Bowie or Prince or any 80s glam rock band. It's ridiculous.
No, for real. It's kind of crazy how backwards people are going. And it's like, they even start using woke as an insult. And it's like, I don't think you know what that word means.
Yeah, of course not.
I think it's rather good to be aware of injustices in our world, don't you? But no, like, Homestuck is quite woke. And I don't think that's a bad thing, considering, you know, one, it was written by a white dude in America. And it wasn't written with the best, I guess, knowledge on these topics, but you can tell that it wasn't written like in mockery of it either. Like it's more just I'm including this. That's all. And that's the way it should be. Including something because it's a part of our world. Including lesbians, vampire lesbians with a chainsaw, badass as fuck, and it's in Homestuck. Like, hello?
Yeah.
And it's just things like that. Like, just including that because, yeah, lesbians exist. Lesbians with chainsaws, they exist too. Like, and there might be even some vampire lesbians out there, and some of them might have chainsaws. So it's just one of those things where it's like it's not deeply explored because it doesn't have to be.
Especially since
it
something
just exists.
Especially since something like vampire lesbians exists, predates Bram Stoker's Dracula because Camilla was before there. Thank you very much.
Yes. It's also, I think, the quadrants and the trolls being essentially the trolls are all pansexual because they don't have sexualities. It's more just I prefer this quadrant, I prefer this quadrant type of thing. Like Eridan prefers he prefers Black Rom. He likes the rivalry. He's always searching for a rival. That's kind of his thing. And then you've got Carcat, who really wants a mate split shit, but he always ends up in Moira Allegiance because that's really important to him. So and there's like Kanaya, who really loves doing Moira Allegiance for people, but isn't very good at it. But she ends up in a red rom. She ends up in a romantic relationship with one of the humans. And so it's one of those where like. Because of the complexity of the romance and like the broad amount of sexualities referenced as canonical gay relationships, canonical lesbian relationships, there's even a dog girl, for fuck's sake. I think people would destroy it online. I think they would really try to kill it as quickly as possible. Because this is literally the internet in 2026 is, oh, you're having fun? How dare you?
Yeah.
And that's just the way it is nowadays.
Which, by the way, that sounds weird, but this is, by the way, the full reason we all should do a lot more of it. Just counter that shit. Do more.
Yeah.
Just do it.
Yeah.
Ignore the damn rest.
I think my favorite like anti comment that I got was under one of my VTuber clips. Someone was like, "This is a guy in his 30s, by the way," and I'm like, "So you watched my debut video? Thanks."
Oh my god.
Like, well done, bro. You fucking nailed it. Like, oh no, you correctly guessed my age. Whatever will I do? Who cares? Who cares if I'm a dude in my 30s being a VTuber on the internet? It's fun. I like to do it. I'm having fun.
Also, yes, it's fun. But also, it's just the easiest way to be silly and whimsical in these fucking trying times.
No, for real. It absolutely is. Yeah. Be a little silly. Be a little whimsy. Like, it's fun. It's fun to be a little demon incubus on the internet. You know? It's a little whimsy.
It's also why I love VTuber wide. I love that a lot more VTubers start not looking like anime people. As a general thing. I love that we get like all these weird models, all those scrunkly little guys.
I feel very attacked.
Hey, most people I know look like anime people, and it has a reason. I'm just happy that there are now ways and people allow themselves to step away from that if they want to. That's the important part. If you wanna look like an anime girl, fucking go for it. If you don't want to, there are options.
Yeah,
Exhibit
we got Eldritch VTubers, and yeah. I also agree with Neko, the ages of the characters being 13 in the beginning and then 16 at the end. Because they are exploring relationships, there's also like addiction that's discussed quite a lot because two of the characters become alcoholics. One of them is addicted to, I guess, some form of it's a soporific type of drug. So that's also something that people would bring up as a problem. Like, there would be a lot of criticisms towards certain topics in Homestuck. But again, it's one of those things where it's like, this is not for children, so why is it an issue?
Also, there's a difference between the characters are teenagers and they deal with teenager things, and that includes relationships, that includes their own sexuality, and being explicit with it.
Yeah.
There is a line, and it's very easy to define that line.
Yeah.
And also,
it's one of the
addiction.
reasons why that is exactly the reason why I struggle with Homestuck 2. Because it's more, well, the Homestuck epilogues and Homestuck 2, is it more explicit because they're adults, they're like 20, but in my brain, the kids are still 16.
Yeah.
So it's like, it's one of those things where, like, in fan art, I can see them drawn as adults and accept that they're adults. When I ship them as adults. But when I see official work, and it's actually Homestuck, and it's actually made by What Pumpkin and Andrew Hussey, I'm like, no, they're children. Why is John having sex in his father's car? Stop that now. You know what I mean? It's very, I don't like that. No.
Yeah, I get it. But on the other side, good that happens now that the characters are adults.
True. There is still a lot of inappropriate stuff. I would say Equius and Horus would be the biggest problems because they are essentially the sexual creeps. Like 100%, they are the worst. Like, every time I read like Equius dialogue, I feel like I need to take a fucking shower. Like, when I was reading it on stream, I'd be like, okay, guys, this is Nequius dialogue. Prepare yourselves. Like, I don't know, just breathe, take a drink. Like, we're going to get through this as quickly as possible, and then we'll breathe afterwards. Like, that's what his dialogue is like, because he is just seedy and just nasty. He is a grimy man.
At least that's his main thing.
Yeah.
At least then we can all agree that ew.
Yeah. Equius is gross. When people say Equius is my favorite, I'm like, okay, that's a choice.
Let's unpack that. Let's unpack this one real quick. Also, Kai, thank you for the hydrate. I will drink my gin tonic.
I will also drink. And I will refill my glass.
By the way, I'm genuinely surprised that they probably exist, but I've never seen a Homestuck VTuber. where are they?
They exist. I can tell you that they absolutely exist.
Yeah, of course they do. But I'm just like, why haven't I seen one yet?
There are Homestuck models. Because Homestuck is a very easy art style to rig. So there are Homestuck models. I know that there's been a few. There's been a few for sure. I've seen a few around, and I want one, but I also kind of just want my model as a troll. So I've been talking to my model mama about that. But my model mama's like, that's gonna have to be a completely different like skin map. And I'm like, oh yay. And they're like, yeah, it's gonna have to be a different model. So I'll have to make a whole new model for you. And I'm like, okay, all right, fine. So that's something that I'd like to do one day, but I'm focusing more on the 2.0 instead.
You should have a scrunkly little Homestuck model. You should have one.
I should. Just
I have a Homestuck model for Halloween. You do.
There we go.
Let's fucking go. Let's fucking go.
That's the way it should be. Good for you.
Sitting up and stretching. Jesus fucking Christ. Sure. And another high. That's a really. Care package. I will still hydrate with my drink. You can't stop me. Thinking about that stream about Homestuck characters as stream. Yeah. Okay, but let's assume Homestuck would be a thing now, and it stayed a bit niche. Let's say like an early Hell of a Boss or something, where people know it, people like it, but the mainstream shuts the fuck up because they don't know. What do you think, minus the slurs and probably some references that need to be updated, do you think it could still work? How much of a product of its time is it? Could it still work now without majorly updating, like, things that happen?
Yes and no. I think they tried to do that in the Homestuck animated pilot by giving them phones to talk on, and modernizing it slightly. But the thing is, the game, you got to remember, games in 2009 were on discs. And that's like the premise of Homestuck, is that it's a game that you get on a disc that you put in your PC. And then you're in the game, and to restart the game, you have to scratch the disc. And then you skip over to the next universe. So it's one of those where I think nowadays, especially now, we're so digital compared to what we used to be, that there's a lot of aspects that I think get skipped over, like like there's coding and there's programming jokes, and there's references to like old like analog tech. There's so many references to that, like tab. There's tab references, and a lot of people don't know what tab is. It's an old like soda from the like 90s, 80s and 90s. And I think a lot of people don't know it. And a lot of people don't even know Fago, which is heavily referenced in Homestuck.
Okay. But
it's one of those things where I feel like so many elements would have to be updated that we would lose the essence of Homestuck. And that's why I'm glad that even with the pilot, they kept it as a game disc, and they kept it at the date. They didn't really update it, and they're still mentioning things like Barack Obama being president and things like that. So yeah, I think it's one of those things where I think modernizing it would kill it. I don't think it should be modernized. I think that you could recreate it today, but you would have to set it in 2009.
That is also the thing, considering how well a revival of the 80s aesthetic works again and again, and then people kind of go back to this. And especially since Y2K is now aesthetic for teens.
They don't do it right.
No, of course not. No one ever does that. No one ever does the aesthetic of a past decade right. But I just have to imagine that Homestuck, and especially now with the animated series, and they keep it in that time frame, comes back, and the people long. I mean, we have a big physical media discussion again in this day and age, but it would just be very funny to me that something like Homestuck being set in the early 2000s and then early 2010s is the one thing that fires up again, like the physical media and the old Y2K aesthetic.
Oh, that's actually a really interesting, topic, because there was a discussion in the Homestuck fandom. I think it was like a year or no, I think it was like 2 years ago. The website completely broke, and obviously that was the only way to consume Homestuck.
Yeah.
We had the unofficial collection, but for a while the unofficial collection was unavailable for download because What Pumpkin, the company that obviously publishes Homestuck, they asked them to take it down. And there was like a dispute. I don't know how that went, but I know that you can still get it now. I obviously, when my friends ask for the unofficial Homestuck collection, I just send them the files that I have because I got it before it was taken down. I don't know if things were changed. I tell people, these are the mods that I have installed. This is how you install it. This is the original itch.io to install it. Follow the instructions. There you go. There's all the files. Because I have it on my Google Drive in case anyone wants it. You don't have to pay. It's completely free. It's just a fan project, so it's not like a pirating or anything, just to be clear. And also, Homestuck is free to consume. It doesn't cost any money. It was just to preserve the Flash animations in the Flash games. And so asking them to take it down, it sparked a lot of controversy in the fandom. People being like, well, we want to be able to play those mini games. We want to be able to watch the Flashes as they were originally. And that they were basically saying you're making your own product, lost media, because we've lost those things on the original. Let us have this. Let us keep this. Don't take this from us. This isn't Library of Alexandria. You can't burn the place down. And, you know, I think that's probably what caused it to come back. I don't know for sure. I was sitting pretty because I already had it installed on my PC and it's still there now. But it's definitely a conversation that needs to be had, especially when your media is 100% digital, like Homestuck. I think there needs to be a level of accessibility for things like that. If the medium you're using breaks and people still want to read or consume your product, make it accessible. Make it so that people can have it. And I think that accessibility is a huge issue. And I've been saying this for years. Piracy is an accessibility issue. If people are pirating, it's because they can't access your content. Make it accessible and you'll see a massive deduction in pirating. People don't do it maliciously. They do it because they want to see your content.
Piracy plummeted when Netflix became the one streaming service because people didn't need to pirate anymore because everything was in one place and people were very, very willing to pay.
Yeah.
It's now an issue because we have the same that we had before with having a million cable TV. We now have too many streaming services that all cost way too much money and do not give you the service that they should give you. And
there's
now
exclusive contracts and things like that. Yeah.
And now
like,
people go back to it.
A really good example of this is also Netflix has certain contracts per country. So in America, on Netflix, you can watch Supernatural, but I'm in the UK. I can't watch Supernatural on Netflix. It's not available to me.
Yeah.
But if I want to sit down and watch that series, where do I go? There is no streaming platform accessible to me except for purchasing the series through like YouTube or Google. That's the only way I can watch Supernatural now.
Yeah. And that is how people go back to pirating again.
Yep.
Because that's the only way to get it.
It's ridiculous. But yeah, it's one of those where like the old hard style analog media, it's in Homestuck so much. And it is also an important part of the discussion around the fandom as well, as accessibility to content. I think people would like the nostalgia of Homestuck for sure. I think that would catch on. It has a cult following now. I think it would develop one. I definitely think it would attract a younger audience, which I don't like, and I've never liked it. I've bumped into a lot of cosplayers over the years that were like 13, 14, and they just have zero self-awareness. Like, I'll go dressed as Carcat and they'll ask for like shipping pictures, and I'm like, how old are you? And they're like, oh, I'm 14. And I'm like, absolutely the fuck not. No.
Teenagers playing Hazbin Hotel characters. Teenagers, minors cosplaying Angel Dust. Yeah.
Yep.
I mean, this is also a whole other debate of parents very much not having an inkling of knowledge what their children could.
Yeah.
Because what the fuck?
It's yeah, and I think as well, with me being unfortunately British as well, we've got like the UK Online Safety Act, which is basically
protecting the children.
It's censorship. It's just straight up censorship.
Always. Especially cutting off teenagers from resources that will help them with their mental health, with their queerness, with everything else.
It's frustrating because I do feel like children should have access to the internet. Of course, I think that. But I also think that parents need to be literate. Now, here's my hot take on this, and I don't care if you disagree. I would die on this hill. The parents today are millennials or Gen X, which means that in their teens or in their early years, they had the internet growing up. They were experiencing the internet evolving in real time. They're fully aware of how to navigate the internet because they grew up with it, which means there is no excuse for internet illiteracy. So you can't pull that, oh, I don't know what sites my kids are going on. You should know. You have the skills. You have the capability. Stop putting the responsibility onto the government and take responsibility as an adult that grew up with it, that should be taking care of your children. It's your job, not the government's. Period.
Especially since millennials are probably the generation that has the most tech and internet literacy, because we are the last people who... That shit happened in our formative years.
Yeah.
We know how to do shit.
School. I remember going to school and we had one computer in our class, and it was a floppy disk computer that had Windows 95.
When the first PCs were on the market, my family had one really, really early, and I was 6 years old.
Damn.
Yeah.
Our family PC, I was like 12, and I immediately got a Bebo account.
Hey, I had a... God, that so badly.
I had a MySpace as well.
I had my first phone with 8 years old because... And it was a fucking Motorola that was heavy as a brick and had a little antenna. This is what we're talking about. And I had that because I was so much out on my own that it was the easiest way when I was like swimming or something, like in the outdoor public pool, that my grandma or my mom could call me and be like, hey, by the way, dinner's ready in 30 minutes. You want to move?
Yeah, that was the same with me. We were like latchkey kids, but with phones, unlike Gen X. So like, I also had a phone at like, I think my first phone I was like 11. And again, it was a brick. It was a Nokia brick.
Oh, beautiful.
It had Snake on it. And it was literally the only purpose was for like, I remember recording my ringtone through the speaker in the car.
As it should be.
like waiting for the song to come on in the radio and then just being like, I hope and pray no one talks while I'm doing this. You know what I mean? Like, That was the thing. I remember playing my Game Boy, which I still have and still works, and I still play it now. And I remember playing that in the car and waiting for the street lights to go past just so I could move a couple steps in Pokemon Red. Like,
also the thing what fucks me up today, the internet was a fucking way more unsafe place when we were young.
it was the Wild West.
It was horrific.
Absolutely.
There was nothing. So
There was no moderation at all.
I mean, yes, there's so many sites and websites missing that are just for kids. It's horrible that they only have social media and that is not for them. They shouldn't. I partially agree that a lot of teenagers shouldn't be on social media. But there is no alternative. There is no teenager, there is no moderated teenager social media. And or other community sites, and that's the big problem. No, they shouldn't be on social media. What's the alternative? So no, cutting them off also doesn't fucking do it. And there are so many ways to make it now safer for your kid. Also, and that's a fucking parenting issue. Your kid should be able to talk to you. You should be able to ask your child what it's doing online, or who the people are that they're like gaming with, or whatever. And if that's an issue, that's on you for not establishing trust with you.
Yeah. I mean, I remember telling you like how open I am with my foster mum.
Yes, which
Like-
is insane to me, by the way.
Yeah. So my foster mum, she knows all about my VTubing. She's even watched some of my streams. She also knows about the fan fictions that I write, and she's read some. Like, she's read some of my fan fictions. Because I needed to prove a point, because she genuinely thought the 50 Shades of Grey was good, and I had to change her opinion on that. So I taught her what good smut looks like. You're welcome, Mum. But yeah, it's one of those things where I know I can talk to my mum about anything. If I've got a hemorrhoid, I can talk to my mum about it. Like, I know that if I got a weird spot on my back, I could show it to my mum and she could look at it. Like, I know I can talk to her about anything. Anything. And I feel safe doing so. And I also know that she'll listen to me if I say, hey, cut it out. What you're doing isn't okay. And I know that she'll listen.
How is it to have an actual good parent figure?
It took a while to get there. Trust me when I say this, like, she wasn't perfect. I don't think the perfect parent exists.
No,
because
absolutely not.
when I was fostered by her, at first I felt like such a burden that I was afraid to be a burden. So I would never talk about anything. I would never do anything. And then as I got older and I moved out when I was 17, I was homeless for a while, and I was afraid to ask for help because, again, I didn't want to be a burden. So I was on the streets and things like that. And when I finally got on my own 2 feet and I finally had my flat and everything, I felt way more comfortable. And I was then realizing that I was approaching my mum as an equal. And I felt much more confident in myself. And that's when I started to put my foot down. And I'm like, Mum, this is who I am. You've been projecting onto me the entire time that you've been taking care of me. Because my mum always wanted me to be like the popular kid in school when I was being bullied by them. She was like, oh no, this is what all the trendy kids wear. And I'm like, but I don't want to wear that. I want to wear this. And she was like, yeah, but that's weird. And I'm like, yeah, but I like it. And she always pushed me away from the things that I liked and tried to push me onto the things that were trendy because she didn't want me to get bullied. But she didn't realize that I didn't care about that. I just wanted to be myself. And now she has adopted this mantra of, if you're happy, I'm happy. And that is genuinely so healing to hear from a parent. Because it's like, yeah, I know she probably doesn't like it, but she's also not shitting on it, and she's not making me feel bad about it. She is validating how I feel about something. And so when I told her, oh yeah, I'm going to be a VTuber, which is kind of like streamer, which I've done before, you know about that. But this time I'm going to be a 2D animated man with big titties on the internet. And she's like, okay, don't really understand it, but if you're happy, I'm happy. And that's that. And she was there at my debut. And she checks in from time to time. She puts on my VODs while she's cleaning, and she texts me about it. Yeah.
Also, first of all, I'm so fucking jealous. Second, good for her that she understood that.
Yeah. It takes time. Parents aren't supposed to be perfect, but they're also not supposed to be shitheads. It's a journey that you take together.
And it's a decision. It's a decision. A lot, especially if your kid is out of the house. There can't be that's a decision.
Yeah, for sure. I think it's also worth noting that my foster mum is my foster mum, so she knows I'm fully willing to drop a parent if they're toxic, because I've done it before. So yeah, it's one of those where it's like, I when it comes to family, I see them as an option. I'm like, that's an optional choice. Yep. I don't necessarily need this because I can make my own family wherever I go, and I think my foster mum knows that. And I think that because of that, because she knows that I will always find my family, she wants to be a part of my life. And she is. And I'm very glad she is. And even when I was going through my friggin' Homestuck phase and I was cosplaying, covering myself in grey paint, I'd send her pictures and be like, look, I'm meeting up with friends in cosplay. And she'd be like, you all look crazy, but I'm proud of you.
Yeah, my reaction would probably be, I hope you know how to get that out of a couch again.
She would always ask me how do I get it all off, and I'm like, it's fine. It comes off in the shower. It's totally fine. It's snaz. It's water based.
No, also I agree. The people I decide to be around with are way more important. By the way, this is a general thing, guys. If we're friends, yeah, you can come to me and talk about your shit, and I can be happy for you. If you don't get that from your parent, hi, I'm here.
Same.
Because what the fuck? It is that easy. That's also the thing. If your parents are shitty, even if you still live there, you don't have to accept their opinion. I mean, don't start a fucking fight if it's not safe. Just don't fucking do that. Yeah. But you can listen to it. You cannot. And then walk away. And then you go to your friends or whatever people actually care about you and tell them about shit. And go to the people who actually support you.
Yeah.
That's it. My family also knows shit about my streaming and my VTubing.
Yeah. You can seek validation from other sources. Your family are not your only source. Like, you will find connections and bonds in so many different people from so many different places. Like, let's not forget, like, one of my mods, Dory, I've been friends with her for, oh my god, almost 10 years now. And we're pretty close. We know a lot about each other. And I would consider her one of my best friends on the internet. And she lives in America. Like, and I feel like I can talk to Dory about anything, and vice versa. She's poured her heart out to me. And we met on, this is going to age you. We met on BTS Army Amino in 2017.
Never been a K-pop person, but I understand the scope. Yeah.
And it's just one of those things. You're going to pick people up in your life from all sorts of places. So don't feel like you're alone, because there's always a little gremlin out there on the internet somewhere ready to be your friend. Trust me. And speaking of shitty parents, there's some really shitty parents in Homestuck.
Wow.
Yeah.
Damn. What a way to get.
There's some really shitty parents in Homestuck.
Also, that being said, the weirder and real you are with yourself, the more or the higher is the likelihood to actually find people to get it.
Yep.
That's the other thing. I think all the friends I made in the last 2 years-ish, depending... I need to talk about this at another point, because I realized I have a way different definition of the word friend. But all the people I know and interact with, it's so much easier. Since I know they're fucking weird, they know I'm fucking weird. We don't have to discuss shit anymore. It's so easy.
Yeah. It's I think it's also that phrase of "I love whatever's wrong with you" is one of the best compliments I could receive now.
It is.
Because thank you. There are so many things wrong with me, and I love that you love them.
It is a very good sign when someone looks at your shit, blinks, and still talks to you.
Yeah. No, literally. That like some of the strongest friendships I built is through Homestuck, because Homestuck is, let's be honest, a clusterfuck of just chaos and cringe.
Yeah.
And the fact that I'm able to make friends through it, and those people know exactly what I'm going through, know exactly how weird this is and how niche this is. It's such a tiny little corner of the internet. And they're just like, yeah, we're friends now. That's it. We're cosplaying together. We're going to talk about Homestuck together. Let's explore it. What's your god tier? If you were a troll, what would your blood color be? You know what I mean? Things like that. That's instant friendship. And I have built so many friendships through Homestuck.
I think the closest people, also the people who know me longest, I all met them in 2012 through a YouTuber community, and that still had a Facebook group. That's what we're talking about. And don't ever let people tell you that that's not real friendship. I'm now married to one of them, so what are we yapping about? You just have to do it correctly. Yeah. I don't know who I surprised with that recently when I said, oh yeah, Haz and I met online. We met in a fan community of very weird people.
That's so funny because I used to mod for a very large streamer. He had a community of like I think it was like 2,000 chatters at one point in one of the streams. Yeah, big Twitch streamer. He was a big just chatting flesh streamer. And I used to mod for him. And one of the other mods was going for a bit of a rough time, needed somewhere to stay. And I was like, hey man, we get along. We like Stardew Valley. Come and live with me for a while. You can stay on my sofa bed. And he lived with me for a year, and he is now one of my brothers, man. Like, I love him to pieces. And by the way, that's Leo. For those of you who are in my community, he's the sticker guy.
It's
the guy that makes stickers.
Sticker guy. I was like, wait,
Sticker
that's
guy.
sticker guy, right?
Yeah, that's Sticker Guy. Sticker Guy lived with me for a year, and we met because we were both mods of the same streamer.
March, that is such a sentence that for everyone reading it, I'm like, yeah, it's just correct. That is March. Before the first time we met each other, like at a organizing thing where a lot of people met up from different parts of Germany, so we can do that for once in person. Marsh was warned about me beforehand.
Wow.
Yeah.
I don't know why. I wouldn't give people a warning before meeting you. That's strange.
Yeah, but I never fully lost the intimidating label for people who don't really know me.
No, same.
So that's the thing. I don't even know what I don't even know what Marsh. What was the warning list? But yeah, Marsh and I basically bonded on that event through a very, very lovely silver tea kettle thing, beautiful. And then Marsh,
I love tea.
And then Marsh realized, like, oh, that's the person that we're talking about. Yeah, hi. And now it's 13 years later, and we're here, and Marsh designed how I look.
Incredible work, Marsh. It's also and not to be quote unquote professional, but Homestuck's all about internet relationships becoming real, genuine bonds. Yeah. These are kids that have had less than ideal childhoods. Some of them have had really abusive childhoods with their parents that have been friends online, vented to their friends online, and then met in real life and became these unbreakable bonds where they went through the apocalypse together and made an entirely new universe, defeated gods. And that came from just talking online with people, finding that niche, those friendships. Homestuck is an educational story.
And it also speaks for the reasons why we should not rid teenagers of the opportunity to actually connect and have a community outside the living spaces that they have.
Agreed. I think that finding bonds and finding friendships online is part of being a teenager as well. I just think it needs to be safer. That's all. Make it safe.
Yeah.
Don't make them, unavailable. Don't block them from it. There doesn't need to be government sanctioned blocks in place. Just be a parent. Be aware of what your kid's doing.
Yeah.
Be smart about it. Like, don't play dumb because you're not. And I know you're not. All right, some people are, but if you can use Facebook competently, then you can actually, be aware of what your child is doing and talk to your kid.
That's the thing. Talk to your kid. Tell them why do you want to know, why that is important, that it's not control, but actually teaching them. I still can't stop staring at this model. Oh, God. Adorable.
We also don't give the internet safety talks like we used to. Do you remember that in schools?
Oh my! We're of the generation where our parents were like, "Don't talk to anyone. Don't believe everything of the internet." Yada yada. And those are the same people who now believe every day AI image they see and every fucking weird blog, and take that as gospel. It is wild.
Yeah. No, that is exactly it. That is exactly it. I remember being told not to talk to strangers online all the time. They're gonna scam you. They're horrible nonces. You're gonna get hunted down by them. They're gonna come to your house and things like that. And it's just like, I wish my friends would come to my house. They live on the other side of the world. But in all honesty, like, the generation that told us not to do all those things are also now sharing every aspect of their lives on Facebook, including pictures of their children and pictures of their grandchildren, and they're being unsafe on the internet. And it's like, wow, pot, kettle. I see.
It's interesting. It's so interesting.
That makes me furious.
Same. Same.
It's that quiet millennial rage of just, I see. Like, we're too tired or too drunk to actually argue, but we're still angry about it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's the lifestyle. That happens when you go through a major historic event after every 2 months.
Literally. Can't wait for the next one. I'm so glad your mum is barely on the internet, honestly. That's better. Like, I love telling people that I don't have a Twitter. And then they go, oh, that's why you're so happy. It's like, yes.
I love being a queer person and using a chosen name. None of my accounts can be fought if you just know my government. It's beautiful. It's so beautiful.
I will also say, when I went into foster care, I changed my name too.
I wish I could do that easily. Holy shit. That would be so much.
There's 2 ways to change your name in the UK. One of them is free, and one of them costs money. And we did it the free way, and it still works for, like, banks. It still works for the government stuff. Like, it's my official government name. I changed it so that my, like, biological family would be able to find me.
Yeah.
And it works. Just saying, like, it's really, I agree with you. It's really nice having a chosen name.
Yeah.
Do I think that maybe I shouldn't have chosen this name at 18? I mean,
maybe.
You know what? I'm in my 30s now. Like, it's done. This is my name. Everyone knows it. I'm done with it. It's just the way it is. You know, I could change it, but that's a lot of faff, and I'm too tired. You know what I mean? I also just don't know what I would change it to. If I were to pick a name, it'd probably be my VTuber name, so I'd rather not.
Also, I think I have better taste in names than my mom. But that's just me.
Same.
I think every child should get one free chance to change their name. Especially coming from countries. I don't know how the UK handles that. But in Germany, there is we have criteria for what you can call a child.
Yeah, same.
And I can't fathom countries who doesn't have that. Like, we have a very tight list of what you can't name a child. And even then, I'm thinking maybe everyone should get one free pass in their life to change their first name at least. Or add another name, or get rid of a name. Because if you have like 3 names and you're named after like relatives you don't want to deal with anymore.
Yeah, or you're named after a random actor that was in EastEnders in the 90s.
Oh,
I was. I was named after an EastEnders actor from the 90s. And by the time I was born, they were only in the show for I think 3 more weeks, and then they left. And then no one ever heard from them ever again. So great, yeah. Glad I changed that.
I want a free first name change. Same. I would also just love to add Helia to the list. I would be happy with that. That would be enough. My significant other had a Gandalf Merlin in his...
I'm so used to being called Fyra now that when people call my government name, there's almost a moment of no recognition. There's a delay. It takes me a second. Because most of my social interactions are online, and people call me Fyra. So I'm like, wait, what did you say? Oh, you're talking to me. Oh, whoops.
I think the funniest side thing is, I think when I started dating Hase, and I was like talking to my grandma on phone, and she was like, yeah, how is, and then used his government name. And it took me, since Hase is how I got to know them, that's the name I still use. And it took me 1 fucking second to realize, oh, that's who she's talking about.
Yeah.
That was kind of funny. That was kind of funny, and was 11 years ago. What is... I keep forgetting Hase has another name. Yeah, right? Marsh, please be reminded that I have a government name.
Hase's other name is Beelzebub the Destroyer.
Why are you fucking doxing names here now? What the fuck?
Beelzebub the Destroyer, Dark Lord of all. Full government name.
I had a baddest name, and my mom let my cigarettes and milk dad say, oh my god. Funny, I have my mom actually kept the upper hand with naming me. Funnily enough, the second child my biological dad named has the name he wanted for me.
I'm genuinely glad that my dad named me because my mum wanted to call me Tyne. Tyne.
Oh.
I know. I was like, what the fuck is that? And she's like, no, I asked her. I was like, why would you want to call me this? And she's like, so there's this actress called Tyne, and she was in Cagney and Lacey. And I'm like, I've never seen you even watch Cagney and Lacey. What are you talking about? And she's like, I just really like that name. And I'm like, pretty sure it's a girl's name, Mum. And she's like, well, I feel like you could just use it for anything. And I'm like, it's also a shit name, Mum. Like, this is my birth mum, by the way. But yeah, like, people would call me Tyne in school, like the herb.
Yeah. That was what I'm thinking, which also would be a fucking weird name, but I get that a bit more.
I mean, I'm English. I've met people called Basil. So
yeah, exactly, that was my thought. It's like people are named Basil. It's I mean, whatever.
Yeah. Not as weird as like having people in your class called Felix and Sebastian. Like, you gotta remember, I'm British. I've had some like weird, like Cyril,
Roxanne. Damn. That's a cool name.
You could have been Roxy. That would have been cool.
That would have been that's actually.
Yeah. People would have called you Rox for sure.
Honestly, I also know the gender alternative I had name wise. There's a universe where I would have been born a Tobias, and I'm not.
Oh, you would have been a Toby.
I would have been a Toby, and that feels so wrong.
Oh, that's so cute. Yeah, my parents went with I guess unisex names. So like both of my birth like choice names were unisex, and my dad got there first and named me after an actress in EastEnders that had a unisex name, and then my mum wanted to name me after a Cagney and Lacey actress, and I'm just like,
hey,
please stop,
at least
please stop
they had
naming
a
me
theme.
after actors. It's just one of those things where I stop naming me after rich, famous people that you don't know. Name me after something that's important to you, because I've never seen you watch these shows. I didn't even know that my dad liked EastEnders. I grew up with him watching Buffy. I could have been called Spike.
You could have been called Giles.
Giles is still cooler.
Yeah, it is.
Giles is still cooler. And he's British.
Could have been a Xander.
Honestly, still better.
Yeah. That would just be if your birth name would have been Xander with an X. In that case, it would just be funny if you would have gone down the same path that you're now. That would just be,
What's really funny is I had two guinea pigs, and they were called Morticia and Cordelia, named after Cordelia in Angel.
Nice.
And Morticia from the Addams
family.
Addams,
yeah.
Yeah. It tells you everything about the kind of teenager that I was.
Yeah. Also, this is guys, this is your PSA that if you can now choose a new name for you and start introducing yourself to people also in your real life with it. No one will ever find out, and just use the name online you want to use. It's easy as that. You can just do that. And yes, you can also change it. I don't even know when I switched names, but it was very much okay. People, new name unlocked. That's it now, and it took a bit. Of course, it takes a bit of time for people to get acquainted. But it is easy like that. It just is.
Yeah. I will also say as well, if you're feeling audacious, you can reintroduce yourself to people you already know with your new chosen name. And if they say, I'm not calling you that, say, then I'm not being your friend.
Yeah.
If you can't accept me this way, then you don't love me. You don't support me.
Exactly.
And you don't need that. Because if someone I know comes up to me and goes, this is my name now, my response is, awesome, great. I'll remember that. I'll do my best to remember that. Yeah. And if I say the other one, clock me.
Yeah.
Like, it's as simple as that. I always will immediately accept pronouns and names given to me, even if I know that person in a different way, because that's how that person wishes to be addressed. And it is a respectful thing to do. And it's easy to be respectful. So if someone is choosing to disrespect you, then they don't like you. They don't love you. Don't let that happen. Don't let people like that into your life. And if they're in your life, get rid of them. Drop them like you're Snoop Dogg and it's hot. Speaking of Snoop Dogg, did you know he's in Homestuck?
No, but that just makes sense. Is Martha Stewart in Homestuck? Because that would be funny.
I think she's mentioned once.
I'm sorry.
I honestly don't know. I can't guarantee she's in. But Snoop Dogg in real life knows about Homestuck. Because someone drew him with the cat trolls smoking catnip.
Nice.
And they drew fan art of him with them. And he reposted it. And he was like, this shit's tight. And I'm just like, Snoop Dogg reposting Homestuck fan art was not on my bingo list.
No, I just asked about Martha Stewart because it's still funny that those two actually published a cookbook together and like had a whole segment where they were cooking together. And one of them is a convicted felon and it's not Snoop Dogg.
Yep.
I love that.
My favorite Snoop Dogg story is the Queen being an absolute G and letting him in the country. Like, do you know about that?
Yeah, I know.
Yeah. Like, listen, you think what you want about the royals. I don't like the royals. I don't like what they represent. But the Queen was a G, man. Like, she was so cool. She dunked on Trump. She dunked on every prime minister we've ever had. She dunked on everyone, but she was chill as hell if you were just a normal person.
She drove a car in Saudi Arabia because she was like, I'm the Queen. What you gonna do about it?
No, it wasn't. It wasn't in Saudi Arabia. It was. I know the story you're talking about. It was. It was the leader of Saudi Arabia visiting, and he was visiting the UK, and he was in Buckingham Palace, and the Queen let him into the car, but she got behind the driver's seat, and he was shocked because obviously women can't drive in Saudi Arabia, and the Queen legally was able to drive without a license.
Yeah, because every license isn't it that every license basically has a little thing of that it's basically the royal gives it out, and so she's like, well, I can't.
Yep, and that's also why she didn't have a passport too.
Yeah.
Yep.
But hey, that woman was a mechanic in World War II.
Basco mentioned. Dante Basco mentioned.
I'm still not over the fact that Dante Basco played in Date Everything a character called Dante. That is a fireplace.
Dante Basco's in Homestuck.
Of course, Zuko's in Homestuck.
He voice acted for the official, well, it's the unofficial official Let's Read of Homestuck as well. Yeah. I say unofficial official because it's fan made, but the creators like Andrew Hussey acknowledged it. So
I love that.
It's worth noting that Dante Basco voiced the character that was based on him in Homestuck.
Incredible.
Which is Zuko was the fireplace? Yes. Yes, he was.
Zuko Zuko was Dante is Zuko is Dante.
Yeah. Dante is Zuko, who was Dante. Yeah. He's also Rufio in Homestuck, who is based on Rufio from Hook.
Do you know how many years it? Okay, because also all the movies I saw as a child, I saw in the German dub. That's the other thing. I always saw the German dub, and then I saw Hook for the first time in English, and I looked at Rufio and was like, "No fucking way!" It took me a long time to realize that is Zuko.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
No, I love Dante Basco because he proves that at the age of 50, you can still sound like a prepubescent boy.
The fact that this guy is 50 fucks me up. He doesn't look like 50. Okay, the fact that he doesn't sound like 50 is fine. That's just his voice. He doesn't look like 50. What the fuck, dude?
He looks really young. I
want to watch Hook again. Should we do a Hook watch-along?
We should. We so should. Bring back Robin Williams for sure. But yeah.
By the way, guys, I need to throw that out real quick. I know that in June we had to cancel the regular movies episode with Flapjack. We will do that mid-August. We will watch The Birdcage with Robin Williams.
Ooh. Yay. I also something I love about the Dante Basco like getting involved in the Homestuck fandom is that he read the comic and he genuinely loved it. And when he saw himself in the comic, because Rufio is in it twice, there's the troll Rufio, and then there's an actual Hook reference, and there's actually just Dante Basco, and unfortunately he's dead, and Andrew Hussey is kissing his corpse. That is a genuine canon. There is a canon frame of Andrew Hussey kissing Rufio in Homestuck. And Dante Basco saw that and was like, that's hilarious. I love this. And then he got involved with the fandom and the fan projects. He did an original song about Homestuck where he dressed as his character. But at first, he was just a normal guy getting chased by Homestuck cosplayers. They finally catch him and he emerges from the crowd in full Homestuck cosplay. And it's so funny.
That is so.
If you ever get the chance, go check out. It's on YouTube. It's just Dante Basco. I think it's called.
Send it over to me. I will
Homestuck.
watch it after stream.
Okay, I will. But yeah, it's so funny. Like Dante Basco's involvement in the Homestuck community is something that very little people know about, but the people who do, massive fans of it.
I think, especially if a fandom made you part of something, you actually should look at it. You don't have to like it, but fucking look at it for a second and acknowledges that it exists. What I gather, all roads lead back to Homestuck. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. It's either Homestuck or Christianity. Those are our options here. And there's probably a good chunk of overlap.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I just found the video by Googling Dante Basco Homestuck, so you guys should be able to find it pretty easily. There's a lot of people that are involved in like Homestuck in general. I feel like people know Toby Fox was involved with Homestuck. I don't think they realize how much. He was living in Andrew Hussey's basement.
I know that, yeah.
Like for so long. He was making Undertale in Andrew Hussey's basement. Like Undertale was being made while Homestuck was still in production as well. And Undertale was released before Homestuck finished. So in the final boss battle of Homestuck, there's an Undertale reference, which is really cool. So look out for that. It's in the Collide Flash animation in Act 6. It's the end of Act 6 animation.
Oh.
It's really good. Undertale Deltarune wouldn't be what it is without Homestuck. No, literally. I don't think Undertale would exist if Andrew Hussey hadn't said to Toby Fox, "You can live in my basement."
And oh my god, would our pop culture be a lot poorer without Undertale? Even if you have never played Undertale. Like, the cultural impact was insane.
There's also like so many Homestuck references in Undertale and Deltarune as well. And, like, I consider them a trilogy of just like I don't even know what to name them, but they are a trilogy in my head. I wouldn't live in my current flat without Undertale.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah.
Thank you, Toby Fox, for getting Marsh housing.
In a way.
That's so funny, but also like I believe it.
Yeah.
I truly believe it.
Now that I think about it, yeah, it's weird, but it's correct. Holy shit. We're at it for 3.5 hours, by the way.
Are you feeling the fatigue?
I'm starting to feel the fatigue. Also because I haven't slept a real night in a week.
That makes sense. I'm a streamer that streams for a very long time, so this to me is like less than average for me. So I'm like, yeah, I'm fine. I can keep going, but I don't want to drag you through it. Absolutely not. The disapproving face. Oh no, don't cry. No, don't cry. If you cry, I cry.
God, please no. Please no, I can't deal with that today. I can't deal with that. I don't think internet culture would be the same without Homestuck. Or other. Yeah. Just correct. It is just correct.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm ready to sit down with you in the future. Psychoanalyze me.
Wonderful, can't wait.
That's gotta be interesting.
So I can read up, because there are some class specs that are a little bit, weaker in the
Sure.
memory field. But yeah, I'll do my homework, prepare my notes, and get ready. But yeah, I'm more than happy to do that in the future. And of course, like I always feel like when I subject people to Homestuck, it should be a two-way street. So if you ever want to subject me to something, you now have permission. Oh no. Oh no.
Immediate. What do you mean? What do you mean?
I worry now, because it's only fair for me to give you permission, but I'm also very worried at what it might be.
No, don't be. I could probably throw my favorite YA duology. Because I think it's still an underrated masterpiece, and the Netflix adaptation was the worst shit ever.
What is it?
6 of Crows.
What was it? Sorry, you cut out.
6 of Crows.
Six
Well,
of Crows.
the Netflix adaptation was Shadow and Bone, but it threw together 2 different series in the same universe that had nothing to do with each other. No, not starting. But six of Crows. It's a group of teenagers who are all explicitly different characters, like 3-dimensional, wonderful characters. It has a wonderful queer representation. It has ADHD representation. It has disability representation. It has the best trauma representation, like the best representation of a trauma reaction I've ever seen. Like, one of the characters has huge PTSD from one thing, and she's the coolest, most competent character ever, but she can't walk past one place in the whole city without completely freezing up. And I'm just like, oh my god. Hey, self-hydrafixation will be episode 25. I said that in the very early days. Episode 25 with my self-hydrafixation. And I'm not sure if I want to talk about 6 of Crows or if I want to teach you guys about Bert das Brot. I'm not sure yet. Because
We're getting there.
Because I need to teach you guys about Germany's best childhood mascot that ever existed, which is a depressed loaf of bread.
Incredible. It's much better than the British one, Mr. Blobby.
Oh, God,
fucking terrifying jaundice baby.
I just know about Mr. Blobby from the Magnus Protocol, which is the secret to the Magnus Archives podcast, because one of the entities is based on Mr. Blobby, but even worse than Mr. Blobby. And
nothing's worse than Mr. Blobby.
No, that thing is a bit worse, because it actually will kill you and stab you.
You think Mr. Blobby wouldn't?
Well, I can still have deniability about Mr. I love that Mr. Blobby was supposed to be a one-off joke, and then people were like, no, we actually want that, which is also peak British humor. I don't know, it just makes sense.
Yeah, it really
Germany's
is.
grain-based childhood trauma, that is banned. That is correct.
Incredible.
Okay.
I love it. I love how yours is childhood trauma personified, and ours is we're gonna create childhood trauma.
Yeah. I mean, it's just very German to have a fucking complaining Red with 2 short arms. Actually, his arms are too short, so he can't even do shit. He's very relatable.
Yeah, we love naming things silly names. There's I think it's in Scotland we get to name the gritters that grit the roads to protect from ice, and you can track them as well. And one of the gritters is called the Itsy Bitsy Teeny Weeny Yellow something grit machine, and it's so funny.
Banger. Oh my god, that's genius.
Yeah, it's a really, we got some real silly gritter names, and they're so funny. You can track them. There's like a website where you can track them when they're out. So yeah, we love naming things silly names, like Boaty McBoatface is an actual ship. Yeah,
Boaty McBoatface, that was a good thing. I love that.
Yeah.
That being said,
naming things silly things.
You got anything to advertise for yourself? Anything to plug that people should know?
At the moment, most of my projects are still in the works, so I don't have anything solid to drop right now, but I will tell you that I have a YouTube channel, which is just Porphyra Minos. I have a Twitch, as you know, which is linked below. It's just Porphyra Minos. I have an Instagram, which is Porphyra Minos VT. I also have a Tumblr. Yes, I know. I have a Tumblr. We just did 3 hours of Homestuck. Don't be surprised. Yeah, I have a Tumblr, which is Porphyra. And of course, I don't have a stream schedule because fuck you, that's why. But I let my Discord know whenever I'm going live. I try to give as much notice as I possibly can. So you can also join my Discord, which is linked on my Twitch. And it's also linked under the description of my VODs on my YouTube if you want to access it. So you're welcome to join the Second Circle Discord server if you want, but bear in mind, you have to be over 18, otherwise the mods will launch you into the orbit of space, and they will remove your spleen. So yeah, that's about it. And thank you for the shout out.
Are they removing the spleen first and then yeet you out, or do they yeet you out, get you back, and just for technicality?
It's a simultaneous process where they actually like grip your spleen and then launch you, so that
understood. Very efficient, honestly. That makes sense.
Yeah, it's a 2 birds 1 stone. Yeah, it's pretty good.
Understandable.
What if you don't have a spleen anymore? We will implement one purely to torture you. We'll find a way. The demons of hell are very imaginative. We're very good at that.
Yeah, that makes sense. Guys, we see each other tomorrow at the same time for some unpacking. We're playing unpacking, but we're not just playing through the game. I want to actually dissect the game because it's a masterclass in visual and environmental storytelling, which I think people gloss over all the fucking damn time.
No, it so is really good. I want to play it on my channel too, and you might be motivating me to do it because I have it.
Do it. Also, guys, did you know that I have merch? You can pre-order until August 31st. Pyra did. Pyra pre-ordered.
Yeah, I don't mean to brag, but I got the full bundle, guys.
Yeah.
I'm so excited.
So...
Muchy McMuch face.
And also this week on Sunday, I'm playing Guinea Pig Runaway with Burning, which might end in screaming and fire. But hey, who knows? Who fucking knows? Okay, I warned you about that before. Do you have anyone we should raid over to that I might not know?
Let's see.
I have very cool merch, by the way. I have a standee, I have a keychain, I have a pin, which are all made out of wood. You can have like a cool enamel camping mug that is actually fucking sturdy. I have a tote bag. I have a sticker sheet with my little mascot on it. Here, you see that cool Hydrafixation logo down there? There is a holographic sticker with that. Just saying.
We could raid my middle sibling.
Sure. Give me a name and give me a name and I will do that.
I'll type it. Just to let you know, because it's worth mentioning, my model sibling is...
I'm sorry, I just saw the Dan Tabasco thumbnail. That is...
that's the name in the side. It's in the chat. I'm just warning you for people that are going to be raiding with us. My model sibling has a very sensory overload type of stream. There's a lot going on. It's like an ADHD kid's dream and a autistic kid's nightmare. And if you have ADHD like me, then it's like, oh, I love it, but also you know what I mean?
I still didn't set up the... How's it remind me tomorrow? I still haven't set up the raid messages. Could you do that real quick? That would be cool. But yeah, then we do that. They are doing some art right now. That looks really cool, by the way. That's really cool art. Holy shit.
Yeah, Tate's incredible.
Yeah. Also, I like model sibling. I was like, I did not expect that, but it makes sense since I know the style of your model. Yeah, I did not expect, but
yeah. We got a model family. We're all gremlins, including the model mama.
I need to start collecting more model siblings. I know that there are a few out there. I know about one future model sibling, one potential future model sibling.
I have the subtle brag that this is my humble brag, but Xander Netherbrand's head moderator Nurgle is my model sibling.
That is cute. That makes a lot of sense considering who your model. Yeah, that makes a lot. That makes a lot of sense. But I will start the raid now. Thank you guys for hanging out. Thank you for yapping with me for over 3.5 hours.
Absolutely. Thank you for having me. Thank you for enduring the Homestuck. You survived. Congratulations.
Hey, no, I will now collapse and die, unfortunately. That's unfortunately what will happen now. I will see you guys tomorrow. Follow Porphyra or else.
Nah, don't. He sucks.
Okay, bye. That's it.
Bye.